So here's
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? The real Coach JB coming at you. We got a new microphone, new wireless mics. Hope they sound better. The other ones were getting a little muffled and sounded like I was underwater. So we got the new ones here today. Live on TikTok, live right here on YouTube every morning, 6 a.m. Pacific. Live for the Coach JB Show. Pound the like button, subscribe, become a member if you're not one. Lot to get after today. This Fearless Friday. Special guest, Shannon Fabrii joins me today. Former Adidas football grassroots marketing director. He was the man. Former Under Armour sports marketing director. NCAA sports ambassador. Shannon Fabrii will join me in about 30 minutes. We're going to discuss Last Chance U and how he was the man who got us all that sexy Adidas gear that you got to see on Netflix, Last Chance U. We're going to break that down as he joins me. Jeff Nadu is going to make another appearance for me. We're going to talk about our shitty picks yesterday on the Sweet 16. And we're going to talk, the Elite Eight, Final Four. This weekend will be all decided. We're going to break that down. UCLA loses another heartbreaker, dramatic fashion to Gonzaga. 2 out of 3 years, we lost to Gonzaga on a basically buzzer beater, man. Got to be a horrible, horrible feeling this morning waking up a UCLA Bruin. I had UCLA in the finals. That ain't going to work out. That ain't going to happen. Caps off to Gonzaga for hitting another big-time shot when it matters most. UCLA had a 13-point lead and choked it off. I don't know how they did it. I don't know why they lost, how they lost, but they lost. So, it is what it is. Pound the like button, subscribe, become a member today if you're not one. This show is brought to you by betonline.ag. Use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV. And get you 50% off plus welcome bonus. Also, CannadipsCBD.com. Make sure you head on over to CannadipsCBD.com. Use the promo code CoachJB, all caps, and get you some fresh, clean dip. The cleanest way to dip there is. CannadipsCBD.com. Use the promo code CoachJB. You can also head on over to CoachJBStore.com. Get you some merch. We got the Mediocrity is New Excellence shirts. They're up there. Plus, you can get one of these cold tumblers right here. Plus, you can get an Adidas polo. Hence, Adidas marketing director is going to be on the show in 30 minutes. But first, we got to get you started with the quote of the day. We got lots to discuss. Quote of the day. Don't ever do them how they do you. Just disappear and do better. Don't ever do them how they do you. Just disappear and do better. Brought to you by Cannadip CBD. You know we're going to get into the Contrary to Belief segment. You are allowed to scream. You're allowed to cry, but you are not allowed to give up. Don't give up. Contrary to belief. Have you ever heard of a crackhead? Have you ever heard a crackhead in your life say, I have no money? Have you ever heard a crackhead say, I'm not going to smoke today? No. You have never heard a crackhead say that. They always find a way. A crackhead will always find a way. Is a crackhead going to out-hustle you today? Just let that sink in, contrary to belief. I had to let that resonate with you. Are you going to let a crackhead outwork you today? Because I never heard a crackhead, dog. I grew up with crackheads. I never heard a crackhead tell me that he ain't going to smoke today. Nah, I ain't going to smoke today, dog. I don't got the cheese. I don't got the bread. I don't got the money. I can't figure it out. He figures it out. She figures it out. Crackheads never get beat. Never. You better figure it out. Don't let a crackhead out hustle you today. Poll question. Got to put it out there for you. Is Austin Reeves the baddest white boy in the NBA right now? Had back-to-back games, 33. I think he had 29. Looks like he's controlling the paint with his assist and drive and dish. Austin Reeves is single-handedly helping the Lakers become a, let me do this in quotation marks, play-in team. He's a 10th seed. AD is as soft as runny baby shit. You already know that. So I can't bank on him. Austin Reeves, man, maybe the baddest white boy in basketball right now. I just wanted to get your poll question. I know you're going to say Luka. But Luka is unavailable. Luka's hurt. Luka's always down. Luka's hurt. I don't know. I like Austin Reeves. I like Austin Reeves. If he's not the baddest white boy, who is it? I gotta know. That's what I gotta know. Somebody said, stop talking and start coaching. That's what somebody on TikTok said. Sounds good. You act like I can just call up and make the coach, the school hire me. Like I can make the school hire me. Hey, I'm going to stop talking. Just hire me today. Don't work that way. We're here for Fearless Friday. We've got a lot to discuss. UCLA loses another game in dramatic fashion to let me lower this chair. To Gonzaga. The NFL warns teams to negotiate with Lamar only. That is what the NFL has warned all the tamperers out there, apparently. Florida Atlantic, man. I know Jeff Nadu and I picked Tennessee yesterday. I wanted to pick Florida Atlantic for one simple reason, but I didn't do it. But I wanted to for one simple reason. The one simple reason is Florida Atlantic is 34-3. They are winners. Florida Atlantic has won all season long. Sometimes it's very, very hard to go against a winner. And Florida Atlantic has won 34 times. I don't care who they beat. I don't care what they've done. They've won 34 times. You got to give Florida Atlantic credit for winning. Period. So, dog, they beat Tennessee. They came back in great fashion. They win the game. And Florida Atlantic goes on to the Elite Eight. Jeff Nadu will join me, Barstool's very own. We're going to talk about that. Timmy just had, 35 plus. He had like 10, 12 rebounds, 10 assists. He had like a triple-double almost. Drew Timmy looked like the best college basketball player in the world. And my boy Jaime Jaquez, man, did a hell of a job too. He had 30. He had 30 for UCLA. But Drew Timmy, I just don't understand how we don't throw a double at him. How are we not throwing a double at him? I don't know. I don't know how UCLA doesn't throw a double at him more and make him kick it out. When UCLA had the big man in there, he actually did pretty good on Timmy. But I can't believe they couldn't throw a double at him. It wasn't like Gonzaga was on fire. UCLA was up 13, dominated the pace of the game. UCLA gets injured. I mean, UCLA's depth on the bench is just seemingly what happened and what ended their season. They don't have the depth because of the two guys injured. If UCLA has their two bigs, that is the reason I picked UCLA to win it all. There's hands down the best team in basketball, in my opinion, if they don't lose their bigs. But if with a fifth, we'd all be loaded. If was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. Zeke Elliott talks like he wants to possibly go to the Eagles, the Bengals, or the Jets. Do you guys think Zeke Elliott would become a traitor and head on over to the Eagles East in the same conference? There's the thing. There's no more traitors in this thing. There's no more traitor. There's no more traitor. There's no more sellouts. It don't exist anymore. It's money, money, money. Money talks, bullshit walks, period. That is what it is. So there's no more traitor. There's no more loyalty. There's no more any of that. Regardless if you believe it or not, if you want to stay true to yourself and all this old stuff, there is no more loyalty. It's about chasing the bag. Period. That's just what it is. Speaking of that, I put out a tweet yesterday on a poll question, and I said, could I go without cussing on this show for one whole week? Well, I'm going to try it next week. I'm going to try to do this without cussing for 1 week. And I'm going to tell you why. You know me, I'm a loyalist. You guys have been loyal to me. I can't give you, I can't thank you enough. I've been approached, breaking news, I've been approached by a few different companies. Josh Faley said, hell no. So I've been approached by a few different companies. Listen to this, TikTok, about taking this show, the Coach JB show, and putting it on Fubo TV and a few different TV streaming channels. All right. Plus, a large podcast company, Westwood One. We've talked, and there's a possibility that they take the show and get it to the masses. So if they get this show to the masses, I couldn't cuss like I do. I couldn't do some of the things I do. I couldn't show some of the things I show. Now, I'm always going to be real. I'm always going to be me. But I never want to go by in life and let a situation happen, and I don't at least say, you know what, I did it, and it either didn't work or it worked. That's it. That's what I want to see. So I hear the chat. That ain't keeping it 100 and da-da-da-da-da. Well, you're not even a member keeping it 100. You ain't paying my bills keeping it 100. So it's funny how some of you talk about you ain't keeping it 100 and you're not even a member. So you ain't supporting me. You ain't helping me. Shut your ass up. That's the problem. I could see if you was a member. I could see if you was a Patreon member and blowing my shit up. You ain't. Have you retweeted my shit? Have you ever put my shit on your story? Have you ever done any of that? No, you haven't. But yet you telling me keep it real. Shit, I'm always gonna keep it real. But that doesn't mean I'm not chasing it. First of all, though, I haven't decided. I told them to give me a week. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try to see if it could work. I'm gonna try to see if it could work. If it can't work, then I'm going to keep doing me. But if it does work, here's the alternative. So I'm letting you guys know. You know me. I would never, ever, ever bow down to the masses just because they told me they'll pay me to shut up. No, that is why I have transitioned to the other side as well and created the Patreon. So now for you that says, keep it real, that ain't keeping it real. Well, guess what? You get my ass for an hour a day on Patreon, keeping it real. Not only myself doing an hour on Patreon. Money will never change me, Mike Evans. You got me fucked up. Money don't change me. I've had money. I do Patreon for an hour. So I will do this show for 2 hours, and then I will go straight to Patreon. All the loyal members from Patreon would come on over to Patreon for another hour, which will make the show still 3 hours, but 2 hours will be the show that they take and throw it on Fubu or whatever. The third hour, I go to Patreon, and all my members get to come on over there. All the loyal ones, like you guys in the chat, you come on over to Patreon, and I do my 1 hour and let it rip. Also on Patreon, Sean Salisbury and I do all of our Last Chance Q, and I do everything else, all the other content I do on Patreon. So that is why we're getting the guys to come on over to Patreon for that raw, uncut hour show per day on Patreon, and Last Chance Q with Sean Salisbury, where we break down all NFL film, college quarterbacks, football quarterbacks. We break down high school quarterbacks that are trying to go to college. We're going to do all that on Patreon. So that is what the idea is, or the possibilities are. So I'm throwing that out there to you. I'm just letting you know from jump that I'll always have the real content for the real ones, because real recognizes real. But hey, if somebody throws some money at me and they allow this show to get to the masses, and I just got to stop cussing and showing made up humans, so, hey, it is what it is. We'll try it. Because guess what? Unless you're a bitch made cat and you don't, I'm leaving, I'm out. As a fan, dog, I could come back if it ain't what I want. If it ain't what I want, trust me, you know me. I control the narrative. Deuces. I'm out. And I'll go back to this and do me. But I'm still gonna do me, but that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna do Patreon. Shit. These motherfuckers ain't even members talking about that ain't keeping it real. Well, if you're real, you would be a member. So shut the hell up. I ain't never changing. Believe that. So we'll see what happens. But I appreciate all the real supporters. We've had over 20 new Patreon members, by the way. We're going to dissect those 20. Like I said, I'm a man of my word. We're going to figure out a way to get some of you 20 out here that became members. And then we're going to do it again for the first 50 Patreon members. We're going to bring you out here to the Slapdick Cigar Lounge and show right here. And you're going to co-host with me, sitting right here next to me. And we're going to co-host the show for the day. And I might bring 5 guys out 1 week. 5 guys out, and you guys co-host every day of the week. And we might do that for 4 weeks. I don't know. But just a thought. So if you're not a member of Patreon, come on over to our Patreon and become a member. It's in the link. It's in the bio. It's in my link tree. Patreon is where we're going to have all the fire. But right here, make sure you pound that like button, subscribe, become a member. It is what it is. Pablo Escobar, co-hosting for joining Patreon. What the fuck? I don't know what your point is. I don't know what your point is. Jason Whitlock just texted me this morning, and I'll be going on his show today to discuss Lamar Jackson. He's got an ongoing beef with Mina Kimes right now. He's got an ongoing beef with Mina Kimes right now. And I've had my beef with Mina Kimes, by the way. So I've had my beef with Mina Kimes. It is what it is. Can't wait to discuss that later on with Jason Whitlock. We'll see. Zeke Elliott, though, where does he end up? Is my take. I want to know where you think Zeke Elliott ends up. Oh, Mina, guarantee you Mina knows who I am, TikToker. Dick Ryder extraordinaire who puts your foot in your mouth because you don't know shit. So, everybody on the chat in here, besides the 18-year-old on TikTok, you guys know that Mina and I have had a lot of beef on Twitter. And so has Sarah Spain and I. So has Kendrick Perkins and I. We've all had our little spats with my ESPN guys. I got a lot of friends at ESPN, but I also got a lot of people that don't like me there. So it is what it is. But Mina, my beef with Mina was that, the way she would come out and demand owners in the NFL and GMs and coaches to select certain quarterbacks. You need to select him right now. And I'm like, damn, you really know what's on the roster for this particular team, like as if you played the position. Now, I'm not saying women aren't good sports analysts. I think women are. There's a lot of good women sports analysts out there. And I don't say women don't know sports. What I do say is, though, that without having that hands-on experience, like I've always said, it matters. And unless I can see some film on Mina Kimes dropping back and throwing a post route on time, and if I can see Mina Kimes in a locker room with a bunch of dudes, I would love to see that. And then I'll shut the hell up. But until I know that Mina played the position of quarterback and knows it, finite detail, sometimes, dog, you just need to shut the hell up. I get it, but you need to shut the hell up. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, but you've clicked all the boxes. You've got the boxes checked, Mina Kimes. You checked all the boxes. A Boston News radio host was apparently, he's in hot water for saying a racial slur towards Mina. I don't know if that's true or not. What I saw, it was a joke. And now this guy's in hot water because Mina and a lot of these folks love to play the victim. They love to play the victim, dog. Let's keep it real. They love to play the victim. It is what it is. So she takes from knowing football, so-called, to playing the victim. Because when you don't know what you're talking about, you have to deter everybody. You have to throw everybody off. Throw a wrench at them. Oh, since I don't sound like I know what I'm doing, guess what? I'm now a victim. Now I'm a victim. And then everybody gets thrown off and forgets about all the horrible takes she just said on football and quarterback play. But see, all you guys just look at Mina and be like, oh, I like Mina's takes. I'm like, dog, I've never heard Mina have a legitimate good take on quarterback play or on football in general. I've yet to hear Mina Kimes. But guess what? All you novice fans who don't know football, like all the slapdicks on TikTok, all the slapdicks on Instagram, all the slapdicks on Twitter, who actually don't know football, you know what you do? You think Mina Kimes knows what she's talking about. That's the problem. Houston, that's the problem. You all think she knows what she's saying. She don't. She's yet to give a good take on quarterback play. Yet to. But you guys think it's good. Oh, I like Mina. Because you're soft. Coach, you don't have to play to know football. I didn't say you have to play to know football. But when you want to talk quarterback play in particular, like you know what that roster needs and what that organization is missing at that position, you do need to play. You do need to be in that locker room. You do need to have cried, bled, and shared with those people. Dog. I don't like Mina's takes, but she's not that bad looking. I think she's horrible looking. If you like straight up and down, homie, if you like straight up and down, hey, shout out to you. If you like straight up and down, go ahead. Go ahead and mess with Mina. Go ahead. Go ahead. I can't do it. I can't do it. But if you like it, hey, each his own. Each his own, dog. If you like straight up and down, hey, shit, each his own. If you like it, I love it. If you like it, I love it. Let me get my cigar. Let me get my life situated here. TikTok, come on over to YouTube Live. We're going to have Shannon Fabrii on here in a minute. The former grassroots director of marketing for Adidas, the man responsible for getting me my Adidas deal on Netflix. Can't wait to discuss that. But before we get that going, man, I gotta show you something, man. I think Lamar Jackson is ready for another profession. I think he's planning on doing something else. Take a listen.
Combining outdoor training and a portable gym maximizes time and workout routines.
So this is Lamar Jackson working out with a carrying case box. Dog, this is Lamar Jackson carrying a case in a box, getting ready for his new future. It's called the entire gym. Is this real? This can't be real. This cannot be real. I got to play it again for you, man. I got to play it again, dog. I got to play it again. There's no way this is real, right? There's no way this is real. The entire gym is his new thing. I would carry it. I would carry it, D. Jones, just like you'd carry these nuts, because you sure sounded like you be on my nuts. But I'm gonna tell you like this: D. Jones, who ain't a member and don't contribute shit and don't talk and just don't do nothing but talk and say dumb shit. D. Jones, if you think the entire gym, the new fucking business model for Lamar Jackson is gonna pay him $200 million, you're a fucking idiot. So go ahead and take that $100,000 from the gym or whoever the fuck it is. But that's just ignorance, and we know ignorance is like fucking threatening. Let's just keep it real. But D. Jones, you should become a member. You sure talk a lot. I ain't clowning nobody for taking no endorsement. Did I clown him at all? I said he's getting ready for another future. I said he's literally getting ready for his future, which could be a gym, a commercial, an actor. I don't know. But he ain't signed nowhere yet, dog. He ain't signed nowhere yet. Now, let me ask you guys something. This is the cold part I got it. When D. Jones wants to talk this stuff like he knows what's going on, let me ask you something. You're in a contract negotiation, and you're trying to play another 10 years in this league. You're a former MVP, and you think you're worth $200-300 million. But you're doing commercial ads instead of grinding and making sure you're completely right to go. You're doing a commercial ad and focusing the attention on that instead of focusing on signing and getting you a new contract. That's what I'm tripping off of. But each his own. You love it. I like it. It is what it is. Go ahead. Get your bag, Lamar. I ain't mad. Shit, I told you. I think he's deserving of the bag. He's not worth the bag, but I think he's deserving of the bag. Shit. I think he's deserving of the bag. I definitely think he's deserving. Is he worth it? No. Deserving? Yeah. I think it is. All right, without further ado, I'm going to put my main man's ticker on the bottom here so you guys can know who he is. I've already introduced him. I want you guys to know, boom, on the ticker below, Shannon Fabrii, the former sports marketing director for Adidas Grassroots Football, former NCAA service manager, former Under Armour director of sports marketing, NCAA liaison, and then sports ambassador, MBBQ National Sports and Entertainment Ambassador. This man was responsible for getting me the Adidas sexy gear that you guys all got to see on Netflix. The 300 million people that got to see the show. This is the man who is responsible for allowing that to happen for me. So much love to Shannon. Please give him a warm welcome into the show, Shannon Fabrii. Shannon, what up, my man?
Coach, it's been too long. How are you, my friend?
Man, I'm good, man. It has been too long, brother. You living the life, man. You went from California on the beach, cooking every day. Now you're in Florida. What's going on, man? I want to be like you.
Dude, my wife and I, we've been on the road for 16 months. We've gone from Oregon when I was at Adidas. We went to California. We went and saw my daughter Taylor in Arkansas for 3 months. And now I've been down in Florida for a year, man. I still got all my stuff in storage, bro. I'm just trying to live the life, and it's been great.
Gosh dang, man. I missed you, man. It's been a long time. I've been on Whitlock, and I know. So if everyone don't know, Shannon and Jason Whitlock grew up together. We're high school football teammates. Did you play at Ball State together too?
No, I went off to Southern Illinois. He went on to Ball State. So we went different paths there. But, man, what a career he's having. And that his show's fantastic, is it not?
Yeah, he's getting it going, man. He's doing it his way, and over there at Blaze. And I'm gonna go on the show today. He just texted me about 20 minutes ago and asked me if I could go on today, last minute. So I'm gonna jump on his show at around 11 a.m. my time to talk some Lamar Jackson. Before we get into your story, man, I gotta ask you, Lamar Jackson not having an agent, huge mistake or what?
Well, I can tell you this. When he came out of Louisville, we went into some pretty deep negotiations with him. And it was a little bit unusual because his mom was doing the negotiations. And I wasn't doing the direct negotiations, but I would be in the meetings after the people that were. And the interesting thing about it is I just think they couldn't really figure out what they wanted to do. They wanted to go with Nike. They wanted to go with Adidas. But what Lamar really wanted to do is he wanted to do his own thing. He wanted to have his own brand, and he wanted to not have to be – because when you sign those deals, the thing you got to understand, you really can't wear anything else. If you sign an Adidas deal, you go out to the grocery store, you better not be in a competitor brand. And I don't think Lamar wanted to have to dictate. You know, with Adidas, one of the things we always battled was guys like to wear Jordans. And we realized they like to wear Jordans. So you really had to be what we used to call the fashion police. And you'd have to look at Instagram and you'd have to look at different things, because why do the contract if you're not going to hold somebody to it? Yeah. You know, so we would try to make sure that, and I don't think Lamar wanted to do it. And, you know, that kind of money that Lamar was going to get, maybe 150, 250 a year, is a lot of money to us. But to him, that's somewhat chump change. And I think it was more important to him that he wanted to wear his Jordans and do his other things other than just wear Adidas for a couple $100,000.
Yeah, my buddy recruited him to Louisville, man. He's a good friend of mine. He's still coaching now. And I remember that. So explain what you did so everybody knows. So you were the grassroots football. I know we used to hang out in KU because Kansas was a Adidas school, Texas A&M. You got Kevin Sumlin that deal before Jimbo took that gig. I know Mississippi State, I believe. You had a lot of guys in Adidas. So basically UCLA, I think you did the deal at the time.
I worked with Jim Mora, which was fun.
Yeah, I mean, so you went around, you were the head of the grassroots, so you got all the football schools that you see on college, everybody out there watching, that you see wearing Adidas. Shannon was probably responsible for setting that deal up. How does that go? How do you go about doing that? So you leave Under Armour. You were there for 7-8 years. You go to Adidas, and you basically start this grassroots program and getting Adidas kind of on the map as far as the football world is concerned. You get everybody going, and Adidas became a huge household name in the football world when it wasn't used to be. It used to be Reebok and Nike, right?
Yeah, so when I got a break at Under Armour, I was the 23rd person hired at Under Armour. You know, that's back in the day when you would report directly to Kevin Plank, who's the founder, obviously, of Under Armour. So, you know, what was great about the Under Armour run, Coach, was you were there as early as I was, you could really pick what you wanted to do. There really wasn't any defined role. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to deal with college football coaches. which meant then that I had to work on the college deal. So when I was there, we signed Under Armour, we signed Maryland, I signed Texas Tech, I had Jim Leavitt at South Florida. So I had this whole run of coaches. So when that came to an end, then I went to Adidas, and you're right, Adidas was a soccer brand for the most part in North America. Now worldwide, they're a pretty big deal soccer-wise. They're the leader. But in the North America, they wanted to do a better job of getting in with the coaches and with the teams, because ultimately who you want to get to is the players. You want to get to the players because in that world, you're looking for the influencers, right? It's no different than what we see on social media, but it was a long time before social media. You wanted to get to the influencers, so the teams would get signed, then I would go in and handle football exclusively, which is where I would come in and deal with all the coaches, and you named a few of them. And certainly, don't disclude yourself from that, because you were one of the influencers on the Netflix series that we wanted to get to, and we wanted to showcase product.
Man, you did. Shannon and I, we got to. I don't know. I forgot how we ended up meeting. We got together on the phone. I think I was dealing with Nike. They were giving me some BS low ball. They wanted to be the big. They wanted to be like this big. Of course. Oh, we're Nike. We're only going to give you this and this. And then I was like, I'm going to keep testing the waters and turning over rocks. And I found you. We got to meet. And you were just an honest, real guy. And I was like, man, I'd rather be with a real guy. I don't care if Shannon was at New Balance or damn K-Swiss. We were going to wear that shit because you were just that guy to me. And I was like, I'm going to wear whatever Shannon has. And, man, I don't even know the amounts. You probably know, and you probably don't even know that either. But what you gave us for a JUCO, and I understand. We're on Netflix. So be it. I get it. Netflix, there's 300 million views on that show alone. So maybe it helped, maybe it didn't. Who knows? But I know you did it more for just me and your relationship. But you had to have given us $2-3 million worth of shit, no?
Yeah, I remember the story pretty clearly, Coach. We were doing a small deal, like a few $1,000s with, what was that, East Mississippi?
Yeah.
East Mississippi. And Greg Whiteley, who was the executive producer.
Yep, of Netflix, Last Chance U.
Yep, of Last Chance U. I was having a conversation with him because I knew they were leaving East Mississippi. So I'm trying to get ahead of this thing, right? I want to see who the next one is. And, Coach, I remember it was like it was yesterday. Greg goes, wait till you see this freaking guy from that I've got that's next up. I mean, he goes, this guy is going to be a star. And that's the exact quote that he used.
When was it? When was this conversation?
Yeah, he had already filmed it. Well, Coach, help me remember. How long before they film it do we see it on Netflix?
So, shoot. So when they called my office, it was, I want to say they called me in January. All right. Let's say the new year started. I'm getting ready for my new season. It's January of 2017. And I'm in a staff meeting. We're going through recruiting. We're about to signing periods February. We're going through the whole process. And a lady calls me named Chelsea. I'll never forget it. And I'm like, man, I don't even know what this show is. And all my coaches, of course, watch Netflix and Last Chance U. I didn't even have a Netflix account. And I go off on my staff. Like, you motherfuckers watch damn too much TV. You better be out here recruiting. So they're like, Coach, that's Last Chance U. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And they're like, that's the big show on Netflix. They film East Mississippi JUCO. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And I tell the lady, I'm like, I'm not really interested. I'm in a meeting. Bleep. I hang up. So the next day, I get a couple emails and a couple more phone calls. So I reach out to some mentors. I reach out to Pete Carroll in particular, a couple big-time coaches that I'm good with. And I'm like, look, Coach, what would you do? And they're like, look, I've had certain people tell me, like, JB, you got to do this the way you want to do it. But, I know who you are, and you've always been able to help kids, help coaches get jobs, etc. He's like, so I slept on it. I come back to work, and I'm like, who am I, man? Who am I to kind of keep a bunch of inner city kids and coaches from having a possible reach like this with the Netflix, with having that platform? I said, who am I to shut that down? So I said, if you guys want to come on down. So this was January. They showed up, I want to say February, early March, to film me to see if they liked me. And during this process, it was so quick, Shannon. That's why I asked you when this was when you talked to Greg, because it was so quick, like they had already made their decision for whatever reason that they knew it was me. And to this day, I talked to Greg and I'm like, Greg, I want to know why me. And he's like, man, first of all, East Mississippi had 2 JUCO All-Americans and 3 top 100 players. When we've looked up your thing, you had 11 first-team All-Americans and 20 number 1 transfers in America. And we were like, how does a place like Independence, Kansas have this talent? And I'm like, well, I did that at Compton. I've done it everywhere I've been. I said, this ain't nothing new to me. But I said, I don't know if it deserves a show. And he's like, nah, coach, we've seen enough. They were only there like 2 days. And so in spring ball, they come back like in May. And then they're there, man. They're there late July to film. And then that season goes through August, September, October, November, the new year. And then the summer of July is when it comes out. So you're talking a whole year before that show actually airs in July every summer.
Yeah. See, that's the thing that I always thought was fascinating is you're waiting to see what kind of reaction you're going to get, right? You're waiting to see if this is going to blow up for you, right? And the kids.
Well, Shannon, this is what people don't realize. So we win that year after you got us our stuff. And there's a great clip on, I wish I had this clip, but they'll copyright me. There was a great clip on the show that I saw that we're calling. I think we're on the phone with you. And we're like, man, we play tomorrow. We don't have our jerseys yet. Remember that whole thing?
Oh, and, my goodness. I didn't sleep a wink that night. Are you kidding?
And you get me the jersey sent FedEx to my actual house address.
No, hey, coach, it's even better than that. We had screwed your jerseys up, and they were in Indianapolis, Indiana. And you really can't hope. You can't ship jerseys and hope, because hope is not a sound business strategy, right? Yeah. It'll probably get there, but you did not have jerseys. So we hired a trucking company, and they gave me the number of the truck driver. And I had him, he left Indianapolis to head to Independence, Kansas. And at every place that he went, as he was going down 70, he would text me, and I would know that he got there. He got there at 9 a.m. the morning of your game to get you those jerseys. And I think he brought them to your house or somewhere in a semi truck. And when I look back at a lot of the things that we had to go through when I was at Under Armour and Adidas, getting those jerseys to you, because they were not ready until Friday morning to get them to you, but we still got them to your game. And, you know, if you're a good sales guy, you don't tell somebody, you know, how to build the clock. You just tell them what time it is, right? So I'm like, yeah, coach, we're going to be a little late. They'll be there that morning. And lo and behold, they did. Thank goodness.
Man, it was unbelievable. The stuff that people don't know, the people don't know the stuff that you gave me, man. And I was like, God damn, you gave me that jacket. You gave me those like one of one silver shell toes. I still have. I've never worn. I have them like in a case in my office. You gave me those Yeezys. I didn't even know what Yeezys were.
Yeah, those are. Well, I'll tell you this, Coach. I've heard, because I watch the show all the time, and I've had a couple of buddies say, hey, Coach Brown is saying that he got $2 million worth of Adidas. Is that true? And I said, it's 100% true. Now, it was probably about $500,000 a year worth of product, but I got to think the second place JUCO deal out there is probably about $5,000, maybe $10,000 somebody's given a JUCO. Yeah. It obviously had a lot to do with Netflix, right?
Sure.
But the way a lot of great relationships start out is I didn't know you. Greg Whiteley was saying, hey, this guy's going to be a star. This guy's going to be this and that. So I just, when you're in the sports marketing business, it's really like if you ever play roulette in Vegas. You can't just put one chip down and hope that it hits. You'll lose all day. You got to put multiple chips on the board. You were one of the bigger bets, a little bit higher stack of chips than I had at other schools, because I knew that the payoff with Last Chance U and with what you were doing there and just what you said a minute ago, all the kids that you were able to get there. Because remember, I'm trying to get to the influencers. And I was able to get product on you, get product on those kids, and get a huge watching group, a huge audience at the same time. So it was really a good bet. And Coach, it was worth every penny.
Man, I appreciate you. Damn, I just lost service. You hear me?
No,
okay. Yeah, man, I appreciate you like no other. You don't even know. It was fun times, man. It was fun times. I'm trying to pull up a clip to show, but I don't know if I can find it. But yeah, it was a time where I was in there like like, man, we don't know if we're gonna get the jerseys and all this. Like, people don't realize what you gave us. Like, my entire staff, you got us like, you had us a game boost, you had a gang ultra boost, a game shoe. You had us game Adidas slacks. You had us 5 or 6 different polos, different colors. You had us every single type of rain gear, cold weather gear in our logos, the freshest Adidas stuff they made. You had us practice shoes, 3 or 4 pair per coach. Every player had not only weight room shoes, because I made them all wear the same shoe in the weight room, the same gear. And you gave them, and they had multiple cleats. Yeah. So, like, you had the best cleats in the world to match all of our stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I had two guys that really worked with me. A guy named Ryan Lacey, who's not at Adidas anymore, and a guy named Zach Soskin, who is working with my friend Steve Clarkson, the quarterback coach that you know. Yeah. That were my 2 guys. And when we talked about what we were doing for you guys, is because of the cameras were so many different places. I mean, they were in the kids' apartments. They were in the weight room. I didn't want there to be any excuse for, hey, we're not wearing the product. So we went ahead and we sat down and we mapped out everywhere that the cameras could be and that the players were going to be, the coaches were going to be. So we made sure that there was product for every single place that the cameras could be. Because one of the things that's the great part about having a deal with a team is that you're able to eliminate your competitors, right? You know, my mom will tell you, Coach, that I don't share very well. And I wasn't willing to share the screen with any other brand because of the commitment we made. Now, let me just say this, is that it doesn't work unless you have a relationship with the head coach, because the head coach controls everything. The head coach can see a player who maybe snuck some Nike shoes on and say, hey, man, get off the field. Because you tell me if I'm wrong. You were afraid to screw up that Adidas deal. You weren't going to let one of these guys wear a Nike shirt and have me call you or Zach or Ryan call you and bitch you out about this and put your Adidas deal in jeopardy.
Hey, you heard me on the show. I told like Bobby Bruce, who was a famous kid on the show, and I told the whole team, I said, if I catch you fuckers in Nike, your ass is cut. And people give me shit all the time about that, man. And so people give me shit all the time, and I'm like, yeah, exactly right. I'm trying to find that clip. How long I got you? A couple more minutes?
Yeah, whatever you need.
All right. I gotta ask you though. So all this goes down. I was telling Greg Whiteley, I'm like, hey Greg, I want to know why me at the end of the day. And he was like, well, and I had Greg on the show a while back, about a year and a half ago. And he goes, man, you're the most unfiltered human I've ever seen. Yeah. And I'm like, and he goes, like, I filmed Mitt Romney. I made the Mitt Romney show on Netflix. I've done all these different people. I followed Trump around. And he's like, you have zero thought about what you say. You just say it because it is the truth to you. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's what I am. I'm not going to BS nobody because I don't think it's fair to them. But too bad the world don't understand that. I don't understand that either. We're in a very weird space, Shannon. We're in a space now that's just you gotta check all the boxes. You gotta be approved by everybody. And I don't understand it. You see those black Yeezys on top too? They're on the top rack. Shannon, here's what you gave me one set.
There you go.
Look at that.
Perfect for you.
I haven't even worn these ever. These are those These are those. These are I don't even know where'd you have these made. These are just some special ones you had.
Yeah. So Adidas will make limited editions of different things, and that's obviously the hard shell toe shoe that that started out, if I'm not mistaken, when we were younger, was the Jabbar. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wear those. Now, how you could play basketball in those things, I have no idea, but they certainly did. But there's just so many iterations of those coming up. And what I know that all you coaches like from working with coaches, whatever everyone else is wearing, you want to wear the opposite. And you want to wear exclusive. Yeah. That's why a lot of the coaches, I would send them Yeezys, because when you're a 50, 60-year-old coach and you're recruiting an 18-year-old kid from wherever he's from, and you walk into his living room in a rare $400, now you pair of Yeezys, you could wear some $1,000 pair of shoes, but the kid doesn't.
I think I lost him. Let me see if I can get him back. Hopefully he can come back. Hopefully Shannon can come back. I know these are some great stories. A lot of people have never heard these stories. He's frozen up. Let me see if I can get him back. Yeah, let's see here. Hold on a second. Let me get him back. I'll be right back. Let me get him back. I think we had a service issue. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back.
We got so gimmicky now. We got guys that are carrying friggin' tires in their fucking knapsack. And last time I checked, now listen, I'm not a strength and conditioning coach. I know guys that are, we need them. You got to get strong. You got to get fast, all those things in the weight room that matter. But I'm a quarterback trainer. I don't say whisper. I'm a trainer. I'm a teacher first, a coach second. I teach. I don't remember the last fucking time I played football. I had a guy send me something on Twitter about 2 years ago. A drill where these dudes got the big tractor. I'm talking about like a 5-yard tire. The dude's walking on him with a football in his hand. And a guy says, Coach, what do you think about this drill? It wasn't his drill. He saw it from somebody else.
All right, we're waiting for Shannon to get back in. I think he lost service, or maybe his phone died. I don't know. We're going to find out. He'll be back on. These are also my buddies here that runs that helps me out with all my IT work. He's come to set up this new mic, and so he's here helping me out. These are the other ones. These are a special Yeezy that you could not even get for a long time. I've never even worn these bad boys. The bubblegum top bottoms, boy. These right here. I don't even know if you've ever even seen these motherfuckers right here. But these are so light. These ones right here were so light. These are fresh as shit. These are some of the coldest shoes I own right here. I love these. But we'll see if Shannon can come back in. Once he gets back in, we'll ask him a few more stories. And I'm trying to find a couple clips from Last Chance U that and then we're going to talk about why he left Adidas. He is no longer in Adidas. He's no longer with Adidas. So let me see. He's no longer in there. So, you know, hold on real quick. We're trying to. Shannon's coming back. He's coming back in. We got a few more stories to tell. Jeff Nadu is going to join us in about 30 minutes. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah, the bubblegum soles, man, are fire. The bubblegum soles are fire. You gotta love them. They're so light. These things are so light. I've never really worn them, man. I've worn them like one time to a recruiting event. I was recruiting a high school, I think, and everyone was like, "Damn, what are those?" So these are one of ones. But yeah, hey, you got to make it happen. You got to make it happen, dog. You got to make it happen. But Shannon was a great dude, man. A lot more stories to ask him, to talk about once he comes back in. He lost service and lost his phone, so he's coming back in here in a second. I never fuck with the Yeezy or none of that shit. I never really fuck. I think they're ugly as shit. I wouldn't fuck with them. Like, I have no interest in them. Really, I don't have no interest in the Yeezy. And if you think I'd pay that much money. But Shannon had a little bit to do with that. So we're going to ask him. You got you?
Coach, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. You hear me?
How about this? The power goes out in my entire house for a second.
Hey, that happens to me all the time. I don't know why. I don't get it. Hey, let me ask you a story. So I just showed these that you gave me. So these, I was like, man, I've never really worn these either. I wore them to recruit kids. Everyone was like, what are those? And these Sobokovs or whatever. Let me ask you this: the Yeezy deal with Kanye West. I know he's going through all that. Were you a part of any of that stuff with Kanye, and how did that come about with him?
Well, I mean, no, I wasn't, but I've got a pretty interesting, I think, take on it. Is that Kanye was, doing the Nike stuff, and he wanted the big money, he wanted the big bag, right? And Nike, as you mentioned earlier in this conversation, they dictate. They're really good at telling you, hey, we're Nike, we're going to do $35 billion next year with or without you. And they dictate to you, and they try to dictate to Kanye. You can see how Kanye is. I mean, Kanye is, and I'm going to put this nicely, an extremely difficult person to work with. I mean, he is really hard to work with, but that's probably what makes him so successful. The thing that I thought was interesting about all this stuff, I mean, I don't know if you saw, but Adidas reported that they're going to lose nearly $1 billion on that Yeezy deal. I mean, it's absolutely devastating to the company. And, you can have your opinion of what Kanye said, and it was terrible. But boy, oh boy, there's a lot of friends and a lot of people at Adidas that are going to be out of a job because they're losing Kanye. And Kanye was such a big part. And Adidas, in hindsight, they probably made a mistake putting so many eggs in Kanye's basket, a guy that volatile. But it's a situation where, man, okay, you did the right thing by getting out of the Kanye deal because of the stuff that he said. But there's a lot of collateral damage to that, coach, of getting out of that deal. And when you just need to look at the whole picture and say, hey, I hear you, but how many people that had nothing to do with it that are making 60, 70, 80,000 a year are going to be adversely affected by it? And you can have the opinion of, hey, man, it's Kanye's fault, and you're probably right. But boy, there's a lot of people that are going to be affected by that.
I remember you told me that the material that the jersey Adidas was making was unique. I remember the feel was different, the stretch, stability. I think I don't know if it was you or somebody that before I met you was telling me about, like, it's some material. I don't know if it was overseas, Iran, Iraq, or something.
It was Israel.
Israel, that's right. So it was a material that the jersey was made of. Like, the Adidas material is completely one of one, correct?
Yeah, it's great. So they make it, and I won't get too geeky, but they make it on a cylinder. So that's why there's so few seams in it, which, it makes it difficult to grab. And from what I understand, and I haven't been there, but I know some of the people that have, it's kind of a lingerie company that makes that jersey for them in Israel. And I don't know if they still make it there. I haven't been there in a few years, but that was the selling point. It's a 4-way stretch. And if you remember, Coach, and if anyone ever wants to look something up, look when Mario Cristobal went to Miami and they gave him a jersey to hold up. It looks like a child's jersey. Now, I think it's like an extra large that he's holding up, but it's tiny because it stretches so much. And it's really a great, unique jersey. It's called Tech Fit. But it's really unusual, and the kids loved him. Now, the big boys didn't always love him because there's no hiding in that, but it was really difficult to grab him.
Yeah, I remember the players loved it. You gave us so many jerseys, like we did. So people don't know the story. Like when we played Coffeyville for that first championship to beat Coffeyville for the first time in 30 years or whatever, and you and I got together on the side. Nobody else knew this conversation, and we worked out to get an all-black uniform with the gold number. And I didn't tell coaches. I didn't tell players. I had Shannon worked his magic, had that shit delivered. I had it picked up. I gave it to one coach. I told one coach only. And we issued it the morning of the game. The players were unbelievably going through the roof. It was an all-time motivational factor that we were going to rock all black, gold jersey numbers, shiny gold, chrome gold. And Coffeyville was beat before the game started because we rolled out in that game in those black and golds. And Stogie, this fucking dog right here is Daddy below me. He led the team out, and I think they were beat before they even knew it.
Well, and that's part of it because we're, as the season goes on, we know what's coming, and we just want to make a pop, right? I mean, and what you want are those authentic moments from the players. That's why it was so great that I didn't tell anybody and you really didn't tell anybody that they were coming, because you want on video that natural reaction of the player and coaches. Because as well as I do, Coach, you can't fake real, right? You can't fake it, and you know that it is, which is one of the reasons why, Coach, I don't think I've told you this. I mean, there were times during Netflix that internally at Adidas, I took some heat for you.
I know.
But it was worth it. It was worth it because a lot of the people that were giving me heat didn't get it. They had never spent. I played college football, high school football, as you said, with Whitlock. So I've been in all those locker rooms. I get it. But if you're somebody at a sportswear manufacturer who maybe you're in charge of, you're in charge of the women's tennis stuff, which that group's a great group. But, I don't claim to understand women's tennis. They tried to come to me and say, hey, this isn't good. Why do we have this guy? I'm like, those kids love him. Those kids absolutely cherish him. The coaches love them. You have to understand the method of the madness. And I think that's why one of the reasons, Coach, our relationship works so well is that I understood who you were. And I didn't know you extremely well at the time, but I understood what you were doing. And if you didn't, you could watch some of that. I mean, there's that famous scene of you in the coaches' room just going ballistic, screaming at the coaches. And that was the one that you probably know which one I'm talking about. And, I took a little bit of heat for that, but I'm like, just ride this out. And as the season went on, they realized that these kids loved him, and you can't just judge somebody by watching him if you don't understand. And I thought I understood, and I thought that helped.
Let me ask you this, though. A lot of people don't realize, like I was just talking Mina Kimes, Whitlock and Mina Kimes going at it. I've had my own beef with Mina Kimes from ESPN. And my point is this, like Mina Kimes never been in that locker room. She would not know what a quarterback was if it came up and bit her in the ass, right? The fact of the matter is, though, doesn't it take those life hands-on experiences that you had by being in a locker, playing the game, understanding how coaches work, the method to the madness? Because if you were a guy that was a bookworm Adidas guy who never played, that deal was snapped as soon as you saw me get cussing out a guy, and that deal is over because you don't understand how football really works.
Yeah, you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid. And I do think there's a level of what any kind of profession that you can understand it. But I was listening to Jason. I was walking this morning. I thought he said something really good, that you really need to experience it to really understand it. I mean, I guess a bad analogy was, I guess if I watch somebody cook a lot, I could probably figure out what they're doing if I studied it enough. But boy, I'd probably, if I had to choose somebody, I'd want that guy that was behind the stove every day. But again, I think you can have a fair and reasonable opinion. I think there's a lot of people that haven't played or don't play that have a lot of interesting takes. But from a former player, I like a former player. I like a former coach, somebody who's been in your locker room and get what you're doing. It's not just somebody going crazy. I think that in coaching in particular, there are times you need to use certain language and have a certain tone to your voice to get people's attention.
No, I agree. I think so too. I wish I'd had this clip. I was trying to find the clip where we were talking about the Adidas gear and the actual when we didn't have these, and when we were trying to find that jersey and all that, and it was good. It was good banter. I was telling out Bobby and everybody, you gave the kids slides, and I told them you can wear slides now because I didn't allow slides in class. So I said, you can allow slides. You can wear slides. They better be these Adidas ones. And you sent us like the most comfortable slides I've ever seen in my life. I think Adidas was the only one at the time making them with memory foam. So you had the memory foam slides at that time in 2017. And they were unbelievable. I didn't even wear slides, and I'm like, gosh, dang, these things are unbelievable. And just all the boost, the boost shoes, and all the different stuff, man, it was unbelievable. The polos, all these polos, and all these different things. You hooked us up like
JB,
no other, man.
You're still an Adidas guy. I mean, you're an Adidas all the time, and that's what you're trying to do when you're in the sports marketing world. You're trying to create relationships because what you want is raving fans, somebody to have the loyalty towards your brand. And Adidas is incredible at the product they make. I mean, their slides and their polos and all that. My job was somewhat easy. I just needed to get the product on the football players. And when you walk around Adidas and you use the word football, they automatically think soccer. And part of my job was trying to make the brand more visible. And I hate to say it, American football is what we always had to call it in the building there. But the people in the product are just phenomenal. We just had to get it on there. And that's where we went. And one of the things I'm the most proud of is after we were doing folks like you, we were able to really make a big dent in the 7-on-7 market, because the 7-on-7 space, when I got at Adidas, wasn't really dominated by any brand. And I looked at it as similar to what AAU has done in basketball. And it hasn't all been good, because I think a lot of the holding from the DBs, you see all these, that's a byproduct of 7-on-7. Because you would rather hold and get a penalty in 7-on-7 than give up a touchdown. But we were able to go across all those teams like Premium and all those great teams out in California, the SFE down in Florida, and go right to the influencers.
Yeah, I agree. Let me ask you this. To me, Adidas, I wear Adidas because the shoes, number one, are 10 times more comfortable than Nike to me.
Sure.
And they fit my feet better than Nike does. And the shirts and the gear is just always fit me better. And Nike didn't make, Shannon, as I know, my staff, I didn't have a lot of little dudes. I had some big dudes now. And, people want to be comfortable, especially old school guys like us. Yeah. We're not with this new skinny jeans shit. So it was hard to find something that fit us right, and the feel of it, like this texture that they made and the stuff that they made is just so much better than the competitor. So you got out of there and you got into, man, I was watching you were cooking, and you can get down, man. What are you doing now? Are you still in the profession in some sense, or are you just totally out of it and doing your own thing?
No, I'm kind of in it, but it's probably as good a job as I could ever dream of. So when I was a little backstory, I was at Under Armour. I had Kevin Plank, and then there was a guy named Bill Krause, who was a senior VP, and I was kind of his guy. So he and I signed the Auburn deal, the Maryland deal. He was the vice president of sports marketing. I reported to him. And as we traveled the country together for probably 5 straight years, we went to all kinds of different barbecue places. That was my hobby, right? I would search around, because that was 2004, 5, 6, 7, before there was Yelp and all this stuff. So I would look for all these great barbecue places. So we went, and we were sitting at a barbecue place in Lubbock, Texas. We had signed Mike Leach and Texas Tech. And I said to him, man, when we get out of this thing someday, we need to start a barbecue restaurant. This brisket is incredible. I'm from the Midwest. Bill Krause is from Milwaukee. And he took a bite of the brisket. He said, hey, if we ever do that restaurant, well, the brisket tastes like this. And I said, you're damn straight it'll taste like this. Well, anyways, so we both leave Under Armour, and he partnered with a guy that had been an executive at the Outback, and we were going to start some barbecue restaurants. Well, then I got a call from Adidas. Hey, come run sports barbecue. So at the time, I'm sitting there and thinking, these guys will probably open up 4 or 5 of these barbecue restaurants. That's really my passion. So maybe I stick around and do that. But the allure of getting back with the coaches and the teams was too much. Had a great run at Adidas. So, fast forward 10 years, Coach, they've got 127 restaurants. They're all over the East. We're coming to Phoenix. We're coming to Colorado Springs. It's called Mission Barbecue, mission-barbecue.com. It's a fast casual, so you come into the counter and you order just like at the Texas places. The food is absolutely phenomenal. The sides, the meats are great. So what I'm doing now is I'm back in that same role of sports marketing. We fed 73 college teams their post-game meal because everyone has to eat right after the game. We're doing all kinds of recruiting events. I deal directly with football coaches and college coaches. Instead of peddling shoes and that stuff, I'm selling barbecue. But the best part about it is I'm back with people that I love and people that I trust. And when you get in that situation, that's the best situation you can be. So I'm mixing sports and barbecue because, on my Instagram page, Esper55, I'm still doing stuff every week, Coach. I see you're doing some good stuff too.
Man, I do. Pat Perez, good friend of mine, pro golfer on Live now. He hit me to the drum smoker, and
it's like the barrel smoker.
The barrel smoker. It's a 55-gallon drum. Me and a buddy made it, and Pat was like at his house in Scottsdale. I saw it. He had a Gateway, which they make them, and they charge $2-3 grand for it.
Yeah.
And me and a buddy we got a 55-gallon drum out here. We made it. We drilled the holes. We put in a damn 2 different exhausts with 2 different, basically tire gauge shutoff valves on it, and like air compressor valves. We put those on it. Controls the temp. We cut out a hole in the bottom. We put a little slide gate on it. We drilled some screws and bolts in it for the grills to lay on top. We went and got a damn, a coal holder, and we put that down in the middle, and we put a temperature gauge in the thing, and man, we put a stack on it that opens and closes. And I'm gonna tell you right now, man, it's addicting. It's addicting. How good the food is out of that drum smoker. I hardly ever use the Traeger anymore.
Well, I've had them all. I've had Yoder, I've had Traeger, what I use is an oversized Weber kettle, because the same thing with you, I want charcoal and wood. Because when I cook my barbecue, which is darn near every weekend for the past 20 years, I don't, low and slow doesn't, if I'm going to wrap the ribs, low and slow is completely worthless to me. I just want color and bark. Once I get color bark, then I'll wrap it. And that's where the tenderness will come from. Too many people want to go 200, 220. I'm going to go slow. Dude, I don't have 10 hours to make some ribs. Right? I can do my ribs. I'll smoke them for 2 hours at 275, 300, and then I'll wrap them for an hour. But the key to all the barbecue, brisket, pulled pork, ribs, all of it, is let it rest for a few hours. Let it rest for you. When you pull it out with the foil, open the foil up, let the steam come out, rewrap it, and then just hold it in a cooler. And just let that stuff, that meat relax. That's the people. Brisket, which is the hardest thing to do at home. Have you ever tried to do a whole brisket, Coach?
Yeah, I did one about for Super Bowl.
Yeah, they can be difficult to do. You just got to get them done and let them rest. Let them rest, let them hold.
And Pat and I just did one. We filmed. We did one at his house a couple weeks ago in Scottsdale. He does great brisket too. He'll smoke it on the drum for about 6 hours, and he'll take it off and throw it on the electric Traeger for about so now we can control the guaranteed heat. He'll put it at about 225. We'll get the internal to about 190, 195. He'll wrap it after. We'll spray some apple juice on it. We'll wrap it in foil. Are you a foil guy or a butcher paper guy?
Well, I've always been at the restaurant. We're a butcher paper people, but at home, I'm a foil guy because I want to speed it up. I want to speed it up a little bit. What I'll do on my briskets is I'll boat them. You ever boated a brisket? Where you just put the foil around it. So the top of it is exposed. So you get the moisture and the heat coming up from the bottom, which will tenderize the brisket. But I'm a bark shark. I want that bark. And when you put it in foil, a lot of times it softens that bark. And that's what I'm working towards. I want that crunchy, peppery, salty, barky taste in my briskets. So I'll boat those, but foil on the ribs. But the mistake I think people make on ribs is they're foiled too long. You should be able to bite a rib, and the bone, it should come completely to the bone, but all the meat should not fall off of it. If it's falling off, it's in foil too long. It's overcooked.
Man, I'm like you. I'm not smoking ribs for 12 hours. I'm a 2-hour guy. Like I'll hour each side at 225 on that drum. I'll take it off and I'll spray it down with some apple juice and I'll wrap it for a minute and I'll let it sit 30, 45 minutes wrapped. And they come out beautiful. And I've even done half baked, half smoked, and they come out unbelievable.
I don't think there's any shame in smoking ribs for a couple hours, wrapping them and putting in the oven for an hour.
Nope.
There's no shame in using that oven. And then, I'll put them maybe back out on the smoker for a while. But I saw in California, I saw you doing some tri-tip with Steve Kim not long ago.
Yeah, I did some tri-tip. I wrapped it in bacon.
Because you're not trying to get tri-tip to 195 degrees, are you?
No, 160.
Yeah.
165.
Yeah.
And then I'll wrap it, and then I'll wrap it, and then I'll throw it in some foil. I'll apple juice that thing. I wrap this particular one in bacon. I'll wrap it, and then I'll throw it on the grill. I'll start up the barbecue, and I'll get that sear on both sides, just that burnt crisp on it, and get that bacon a little hard. And it came out unbelievable. And then I'll do the brisket. I'll do the tri-tip. I'll do the pulled pork. I'm starting to perfect the pulled pork on the drum.
Yeah. And do you wrap the pulled pork?
Yep. I wrap it. I wrap it at the end. I wrap it at the very end. I don't know if you follow, I'm sure you do. Meat Church.
Oh yeah. Mitch is great.
Yeah. And I got some stuff from him. He's like, dude, he got away from wrapping the brisket as well. He wraps it at the very end where a lot of people will go half, wrap it, keep it on. He's like, I want that burnt crust. I want that, like you were talking, and you let it cook without the wrap and then wrap it at the end and leave it in there for about a good hour or so.
Well, the problem though is that he's got a smoker where the air is continue moving. Remember, you got the barrel. The smoke is just coming straight up. Yeah. And if you don't wrap, at some point, it's going to more than likely burn the bottom of that meat, that brisket. It's just going to get too dry. You just don't have the airflow in there. And listen, I've learned the hard way. So what I do is I end up doing what you do is I end up wrapping towards the end on that thing just to speed it up. But the stuff that Meat Church is doing is phenomenal. He's just got a lot better setup than I have because I'm working on an oversized extra large kettle. Remember?
Yeah. Do you do the egg?
Yeah, I used to do the egg. I ended up giving it to my brother Sean when I moved. It's fine. It's similar to the barrel. It's really expensive. It keeps the heat in there really well. Anything that's a charcoal and wood, I just can't get the color and the flavor and the bark that I want from the pellet.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, you can try all day long and you just will not get it. That's why when you go to Texas and you see all the top places like Franklin's, Goldie's, and all, you don't see anybody using a pellet, right? They're all using the offset smokers, Snow's, Valentina's in Austin. Those guys are every single top 20 places using a stick burner. Now I don't have the space or anything to use that or the patience. I mean, that's a lot of work, man. I'll let those guys do it.
Yeah, man, it is. Nah, we got to get together and smoke something. Are you ever in Cali anymore at all?
Yeah, my son goes to Loyola Marymount, so I'm going to be there the entire month of May. He graduates. He graduates this May 6th. So I'll be there the entire month of May. So let's get together and do something. I'll come to you.
Hell yeah, come out, man, and stay. And whoever, bring whoever. I got plenty of room, and we can smoke and do the show here too one day live right here in the Cigar. I just built this cigar lounge, man. It's a full bar. It's we can smoke in the back and do the show, man. It'd be great. Tell some stories and get you one of these cigars, man.
I'm all in, Coach. I'll let you know when I get there, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, Shannon, it's always a pleasure. Good seeing you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
See you, Coach.
All right, brother. Shannon Fabrii, everybody. Clap it up. I appreciate you. Pound the like button. Subscribe. Become a member if you're not one. Patreon is up and cracking live. Jeff Nadu, must be some East Coast issues. Jeff Nadu's having some internet issues as well. If he can get on, he'll get on in about 40 minutes or so. So we'll see if he can get back on. The World Athletics Council has adopted rules for track and field that bar athletes who have transitioned from male to female and have gone through male puberty from international competition. So that means if you were born with a wee-wee, you are no longer allowed to race against women. I love the World Athletic Council for adopting that rule. I give them a shout out. No made-up humans racing against women. Just can't happen. Can't happen. Florida Atlantic, man, 33-3 on the season. Now they're 34-3 or whatever they are. You win 34, 35 games, dog. You know how to win. You know how to win. Period. You know how to win. And it is what it is. It is what it is. You know how to win. So, Manscaped didn't drop me, contrary to LeBron's GOAT's belief. They didn't pay enough. And the fact is, that's what you guys don't get. A lot of you are going to talk about, oh, JB, you got to keep it real. You can't not cuss. That's not you. Well, see, so this side of you says, I got to keep it real. This side of you who doesn't contribute at all, isn't a member, and then want to talk shit like they know the situation. Manscaped dropped you. So which one is it, homie? Are you saying I'm keeping it real so I don't get any ad sponsors, or should I go get ad sponsors and not keep it real? Which one is it, homie? I'm confused. That is what bitch made cats do. That is what bitch made cats are. That is who LeBron the GOAT is. He's a bitch made cat who just wants to talk and spurt shit out of his mouth because he don't know what he's talking about. But, you know, it is what it is. We love the trolls. I'm always going to engage with the real ones regardless. But I am going to try. I'm going to try to go a week and not cuss. I'm still going to give the real, uncut, real, both studios. I'll be in here, smoke a stick. I'll be in there. And then we're going to trial and air it and get Fubu TV to, they're going to air this show twice a day. I'm going to be the only person that has 2 shows a day, 2 hours each. And then I'm going to take an hour and go on Patreon and do my real show. And then Sean Salisbury and I are going to do Last Chance Q on there. And we're going to do it all. Short, fat, skinny, and tall. I'm going to put a cuss jar right here. I'm going to put a cuss jar right here. I'm going to put a cuss jar. Every time I cuss, I'll donate. Every time I cuss, I'll donate. All right, I can do that too. Coach Rubley said, if I cuss, I got to give free merch away to members. I could try it. I could give away a member. I can give shit to members if I cuss. Like I said, I might not be able to do it. Maybe I don't want to do it. But at least I'll try it for a week. What do you got to do? What do you got to lose for a week? You could go through a week with me and see if I can cuss or not. I'm going to try it out. Still going to be my damn self. Don't get it twisted. But I'm going to try it. We'll see. No, BetOnline didn't get rid of me because if you saw the check I get every month from BetOnline, you would you'd be kissing my ass. LeBron is the GOAT. Toad Coach said, I will not watch no more if you stop cussing. Hey. Well, motherfucker. Yeah. Hector's a fool. Come on, Hector. I can't say that right here on air. You know I can't say that. I need to check. Oh man. Tom Brady becomes minority owner of the WNBA's Aces, and Messi scores 800th goal in win over Panama. Is there a more famous person in the world right now than Messi? Who is up there with Messi? I'm curious. Kobe, LeBron, maybe Jordan, Shaq. Pat McAfee had Shaq on yesterday. I thought that was his biggest guest. Is Shaq Pat McAfee's biggest guest? Do you put Shaq above Aaron Rodgers? Do you put him above Bill Burr, Dana White? Those are all pretty big guests. I think Shaq, though, has a bigger reach. Ronaldo could be. They said physically Shaq is. I think Shaq is. I don't know. I think Shaq's probably the biggest guest that he's had. I don't know. That's a tough get. I just saw clips. I saw clips of Shaq interview, and I thought Shaq. Everybody I know that knows Shaq said he's unbelievable. He's a real one, and it showed that on Pat McAfee's show that I saw the clips of. It looked like he was like just being real, and I guess he got hip surgery. So I don't know. I guess he had hip surgery. So, but Shaq was clowning, dog. I thought it was funny. The kid Noel or whatever his name is dished out 19 assists as K-State moves to Elite Eight. Man, that's 19 assists. K-State gets it done, beats Michigan State in the Elite Eight. Coach Oates, Alabama's coach, said he's not offended by Nick Saban's comments. Do you think Nick Saban was taking a shot at Oates? That is a question that I have. I think he was. I got to show this, though. Charles Barkley take. Love Charles Barkley. I think he's unbelievable. I want to share this. Why can't I unmute it? What the fuck's going on? Derek, if you know why, I don't know why. It won't let me unmute it. It says host is says he won't let me unmute it. Anyway, Charles Barkley on this stream said, why are we trusting politicians when we're putting the politicians? Why are politicians voting for college basketball, college football? They don't know. Barkley straight up called the politicians horrible humans. He said the politicians are horrible humans. Love it. Got to meet him. He lives up by Pat Perez. Him and Jim McMahon. Jim McMahon's going to come on the show soon. He's going to come on Last Chance Q with Sean Salisbury and I. Sean Salisbury and Jim McMahon are really good friends. I love how I think I'm the one that said priests and politicians, two most crooked humans on earth. I think Barkley also sees that. Why are we putting college kids' futures and college kids' outcomes in the hands of politicians who don't give a shit about the kids, who don't give a shit about any of that. I don't understand how that's humanly possible. Why do we? Why do we? Why is Condoleezza Rice voting on who plays in the playoffs? Like, let's just be real. Unbelievable. Was Saban taking a shot at Oates? I told you on this show, I'm pretty much sure I'm the first one to bring it up. Nick Saban is going to be in a very, very peculiar situation. The Live is gaining crowds. He said, you know, the Live tournaments are like a party, by the way. They're like a complete party. And the atmosphere is unbelievable. They're not all uptight like the PGA. You will get firsthand knowledge of this next week as Pat Perez's lovely wife, Ashley, is joining the show. Ashley and I were talking on the phone last night. She's going to come on the show next week. She's got like 850,000 followers on Instagram. She is very, very large in charge, and she is a great, great human. She's going to come on the show, and you're going to get some real insight from a pro golfer's wife that's going to tell those stories. Pat and I don't want to do the show together yet. Like, we could do a show anytime. We're not going to do the show yet. We're waiting on that. Pat and I have also discussed doing a show together completely when he's done with this in a couple of years, when he hits the senior tour. I don't think they call it the senior tour anymore. We're actually talking about doing a show, our own show, just me and him, bringing on guests, chilling, sipping on some tequila, smoking a stick. Couple of years, Pat and I may do our own show. It could be big. It could be big. We'll see, though. Got a lot of things in the fire, man. Hey, change is inevitable. You got to understand it. Now, it doesn't mean you have to change. You know me, I'm never going to sell out. But if somebody says, hey, try not to cuss for a couple weeks and see if somebody blows you up, I'll try it. But I'm still going to do my raw and uncut show. I'm still going to do my raw and uncut show. Casey Delozer. You talk about everybody's wife like that? I mean, see, I just don't get that. Like, this is what I don't understand. Here's what I don't get. All right, let me ask this question. I want to. Yeah, for $20, I think $20 is a fair price. $20 a month to get 20 different uncut clips of videos, plus Last Chance Q football, raw and uncut with Sean Salisbury, plus any other cooking, drink making, cigar, any other content. I think $20 pretty good deal per month. You guys spend more than that at Starbucks per day. So let's just keep it real. Let's keep it real. Put it in perspective. And I've been giving shit away for free my whole life. So, you know, that's not honest, Casey. That's creepy and weird as fuck. You know how many women are in the world that aren't married? You know how many women in the world are not married that you could go after? That's the crazy part about it. Like, have you ever been around the homies where you thought was your homie? And let me ask you, have you ever been around the homies who you thought were the homies, and then you hear later that they're like, damn, JB girl got fat ass, or the homie got a fat ass, the homie's girl got a fat ass, and then you're like, damn, dog, I can't let you be around my girl ever. Now, if my girl is that way, then she shouldn't be my girl anyway, if she's entertaining it, right? But the fact that the homie that you thought was the homie is actually looking at your girl that way, you need to cut bait. That's why small circles are needed. That is why small circles are needed, right? And people that do that should be immediately banned from your circle. Like, how many girls are you cool with? I mean, how many homeboys you know have a good, cute girl, fine girl, bad girl, whatever you want to call them, and you steady staring at her when there are literally a trillion females out there who are single that you could go get or look at? I don't get it. That's just funny to me. And that's why you can't trust nobody, dog. Me and the other motherfucker ain't you. Period. Period. That's just is what it is. If my older brother keeps asking you for money, would you give it to them? Depending on the situation, I guess. I'm a giver, so it depends. If he was like ill or in dire need for something, yeah. But is it for what? What's the reasoning? What's the reasoning? Is he broke on the street? I mean, you got to give me some context, dog. You got to give me some content. What's the deal? Like, why is that? Why would you give him money or why would you not? This is what I tell the homeless out here that always hit me up. I go to a 7-Eleven frequently down the street when I go get lotto tickets or something. And this same kid is out there every day. He's got to be like 22, 23 years old. And he's always there. And he never asked me for anything anymore. Because one day he asked me for some money and I go to fuck off on his ass. I said, how old are you? He's like, 23. And I'm like, and you can't go get a fucking job? You can't go get a fucking job? 23 years old. And you out here already asking for fucking handouts? I don't care how rough your life has been for 23 years, dog. Go fucking figure it out. Go figure it out. It's just, we enable these cats so badly. We enable them so much in life. It just fucking blows my mind. Come on, dude. What's up, homie? Come on. You want out? Go out. We enable these kids, man, so bad that it blows my mind. It blows my mind. So it is what it is. Here's the issue. Here's the issue that the cussing is going to bring. Because Zach and I, Matt and I, Steve Kim don't cuss really. But Matt and Steve and Zach, you know, I got to have a conversation with them. Can you not cuss? That's the cold part. Here goes all the trees now. Travis said, here goes all the trees. Hey, man, I got to plant a tree this weekend, dog. I got to plant a tree this weekend. Will Bardo. This is what I'm going to give away on Patreon. I'm going to do full on how to interview for jobs, how to coach, how to be a great assistant, how to be a head coach, how to lead, how to follow, all these things. Those are all things that I'm going to do on Patreon that no one else is going to do. And I'm going to be me. Can't control Patreon. Hey, does anyone know about Patreon? I know you can live stream. Can I stream a game on Patreon? Can I watch the game on Patreon? Or is it nah? Yeah, I get it, Tommy. Hey, that's why I want to be myself. I want to cuss and do all that shit. But at the same time, you already know, man, this world's soft, dog. I'm doing me. I'm doing me my way, and I'm just being honest. Like, I'm not going to get Bud Light and and FanDuel. I'm not getting Bud Light and FanDuel because I'll call you a fucking cowardly fucking puss. And they can't handle that. So at least I'm going to give it a try, right? I got to at least try it one time, right? You going to hate on a motherfucker for trying it one time? God damn. You know who I am. You know who I am. You know who I am? Shit. It is what it is. It is what it is. Plus, dog, do you know how badly suppressed I am? Do you know how many people have less subscribers than me and get more views than me? Because they suppress me, homie. They suppress me. I'm not leaving YouTube. I'm still doing my show on YouTube. So, goddamn, the trolls are real, aren't they? The trolls come out on Fridays. Lucy, why are the trolls so heavy on Fridays? I'm curious. Why are they so heavy on Fridays? Hell no, I never go politically correct. You got me fucked up. You think I'm going politically correct? Get the fuck out of here. What's up, Baba? Lead to Live said, I'm going to have to go to Patreon just to support you. I appreciate you, brother. You're a good human. You're a good mammal. You're a good mammal. Ash, come on, dude. Go lay down. I know, dude. I get it. I know. You can't just, dude. I thought I beat you and everything. I thought you were scared of me. Remember, everybody thought I had a belt and you were just I was the worst dude ever. Why are you wagging your tail? Aren't you scared of me? Yeah, these guys eat better than anyone in fucking U.S., huh? Oh, Ashy. You eat better than anybody, huh, Baba? I know. All right. I'm on TV, dude. Get down. All right, sit down. Come on. All right, dude. You're pushing me, fat, heavy motherfucker. God damn, homie. Watch out. Move. Go lay down. The motherfucker weighs 145 pounds, by the way, dog. I know, Rockhead. He's scared as shit of me. He don't want nothing to do with me. He's staying away from me. Milbest, the kid at 7-Eleven just said, he didn't say nothing. He has no answer because no one's ever told him that. No one ever has told him, why don't you get a job? That's the crazy part because we are enablers. We're all enablers. You are giving this dude money or he wouldn't be at 7-Eleven still, right? Am I wrong? Shit. Josh, you want some puppies? I'm going to breed this motherfucker one day. I'm going to breed him one day. Will Bardo, yes, sir. Become a member today. Patreon, $19.99 a month. We're going to have some great shit on there. Me and Sean Salisbury. Sean Salisbury and then we get it going. We start it up next week. Plus, I'm going to do a bunch of daily JB rants. Plus, I'm doing an hour show on there every day. Every day. ABKC, American Bully Kennel, by the way. ABKC is what he is. Yes, homeless cats asking people to Venmo them blows my mind. Blows my mind. I don't have any more females to breed, dog. I got rid of Bailey. Bailey's with Roy Williams. Bailey and Bonham are both with Roy Williams. So, that's my tri-merle. That's my tri-merle out there in Oklahoma. So, me see. I don't know why I can't play this down. Yeah, we get violinists, dog. We get violinists. Have you ever been to the dentist and done this? Lucy, I gotta ask. Have any ladies in the house? Liz, any of you guys? Have you ever guys been to the dentist?
I'm sorry. Oh, shit.
You got to be shitting me. There's no way. Who's filming that, homie? Who is filming that? So she set up a camera to play with her shit in front of the dentist. Get the fuck. You got to be shitting me. You got to be shitting me. There's no way. There's no way. Jeff Nadu got his service back. He will be in here in about 15 minutes. We're gonna break down this Elite Eight and the Elite Eight and the Final Four. You're right. Anything for likes, dog. And it's crazy. It's crazy. They'll keep me down for cussing, but you could do that shit on TikTok, Instagram, fucking whatever, and be praised, get millions of views and all this shit. That's how fucked up we are, dog. That's how fucked up we are. Anything for views. You're right. I'm just telling you. Luckily, she wasn't a squirter. LBC Rob in the house. Much love. Much love. Josh Fele, you're right, Oos. You're right about that. She trying to get them likes, dog. She trying to get them likes. A teacher knocked a kid out in class. These are all videos I won't be able to show anymore because they won't be on TV. TV won't stream these type of things. So I'm trying to get these in for you. Somebody's filming it. Somebody's filming it. The kid's throwing shit at the teacher. Look at what's going on in classrooms, dog. I love the teacher that did that. I love the teacher, dog. I love it. Look, I love the teacher. Grab that motherfucker. Look at these punk-ass kids. You know why I'm showing you this video? You know why I'm showing this? They threw a desk at him. I mean, it's unbelievable. You know why I'm showing this video? Why am I showing this video? I want to know why I'm showing this video. I want to know why stick talk. Jesse, I like that. Stick talk. We can talk golf and cigars. Stick talk. Kid got knocked out. He's out. He got knocked out. He's out cold. Here's the cold part about this. Why am I showing that video? Does anyone know? Does anyone know why I'm showing that video? Can anyone guess why I'm showing that video? If somebody guesses why I'm showing the video, I'll give them a free hoodie right now. The first one to say it. Why am I showing that video? Do you notice anything about that video? What do you notice about that video? What do you notice about that video? Hector got it. Hector got it. White kids. Hector got it. 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 And it's not about white or black. All right. It's not the point of the thing. But there's a lot of these videos been surfacing where it's a lot of black kids doing this. And I wanted to show that video in particular because of this reason. We have lost order. It doesn't matter what color you are. These kids are bad as shit. Every single kid. I don't care if you're white, black, blue, green, yellow. Every single kid in this country has lost their damn minds. It's everybody. Kids are the softest, most enabled shitbirds I have yet to see in the history of my life. Ever. 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 I'm just telling you. These kids are so badly managed in the home, at the home, on the home front, that they're out here doing whatever they want to do in classes, in communities, in smash and grabbing, beating up folks. It's everyone, dog. We're all fucked up. I'm going to be real. We are all screwed up. We don't respect elders. We don't respect each other. We don't respect ourselves. You don't value the dollar. You don't value lives, others or your own. Dog, it's all kids. Every single one of them. And it doesn't matter. It just happens to be fucking film. It just happens to be on camera. It is what it is. If you film enough, you'll have all kind of shit. Lead to Live. Much love to you, dog. Much love to you. Much love to you. SoCal True. SoCal True says he beat him. I have to look at that. I don't know, dog. I think Hector's saying held this L. I got to check it out. I'll check. Hector's a real one. Hector will tell you if it is. I got to check it out. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see here. Appreciate you joining the Discord. I mean the Discord too, Slap Nation. By the way, the Patreon, the show I do on Patreon is going to be Slap Nation because that's the Discord. Eddie, since you're producing the show, I've already talked about the Lakers. What do I need to talk about the Lakers for? They're a 10th seed team who are underachievers, soft as shit, horrible leadership. I think Darvin Ham is a bust. What do you want me to talk to about the Lakers? That they're a 10th seed? What do you want to talk about the Lakers for? Let's talk about the Lakers. That Austin Reeves is their best player right now? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about, Eddie? Give me, yeah, you're right. You got ESPN, you got all these things. You want to talk about the Lakers, dog? Kendrick Perkins talks about Lakers every day. What do you want to talk about the Lakers for? I'm just curious. Right, Mill Best. Let's talk about the Richmond Flying Squirrels. That's what I'm saying. Why do I need to talk about the Lakers? They're fucking horrible. They are fucking absolutely horrible. Sorry, that just is what it is. They're horrible. AD don't even play. Like, dog, I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about it. The Tampa police praise. I had a video, man. I had this video. Let me see if I can find it. I had this video. I don't think I put it in. There's a security guard, man, that a guy tried to go in a bar fully masked up with a strap and tried to go in the bar, and the security guy saved the day If you haven't seen that video, they'll probably copyright my ass if I show it, but who the Savannah Bananas? Who's that? Eddie, so you're telling me now that I have to be a fanboy and tell lies? Is that the life you live, Eddie? See, Eddie thinks the Cowboys, no matter what, are the best team in the world. Even though he's a fan of the Cowboys, he thinks he always has to say that the Cowboys are the best team. Just because I'm a fan of the Lakers doesn't mean that I'm not going to keep it real. I don't understand, Eddie. We live different lives, dog. Like, I'm going to be real about it. The Lakers are horrible. How can you be a fan and tell lies? That's more the question. I got to ask you, how can you be a fan of a team and tell lies and actually think that team is good? I'm a Laker fan. That don't mean that I'm fucking not going to tell the truth about the Lakers. The Lakers are shitty. The Cowboys are shitty. Can't you realize that, homie? Don't you realize that the teams you like are shitty? I'm a Rams fan. They were shitty this year. Do you see me saying that the Rams are the best team? They're still the best team. No, they're not. The Clippers run LA 10 years and counting. Really? Crazy. Have they won yet? The Clippers won anything? How do they run LA when the Lakers just won a title 3 years ago? How do the Clippers run LA when they've never even been to a championship? How do the Clippers run LA when they never have had a banner hanging down in the Staples Center? So are the other 16 titles, Greg, fake too? Are the other 16 titles the Lakers have fake? Oh, my goodness. Some of you motherfuckers are just clueless, dog. Really are. They're clueless. You guys think a regular season game matters. Lakers don't give a fuck about the Clippers. The Clippers mean nothing. They've done nothing. It's not even a rivalry. It's not even a rivalry. The Clipper-Lakers is not even a rivalry. Do you realize that? Do you realize they're not even a rivalry? Mediocrity is the new excellence. Mediocrity is the new excellence. Let's be real. Mediocrity is the new excellence. Can we be real? People really think that the Clippers, because they're in the 5th seed, are something good. Oh, man. Imagine sharing the Lakers locker room and having to understand the greatest players in the world have played for that organization and not your own. Imagine sharing a locker room and having to look up in the rafters and see 17 championships. Imagine that. And you walk around, you and Marcellus Wiley walk around wearing Clipper gear. You're the only 2 Clipper fans in the world. It blows my mind. It tells you a lot when you like a certain team. When you like a certain team and you're so stuck on the logo and you're so stuck on a certain team that you're such a fanboy of that you are literally stuck and blinded with ignorance that you will defend a team no matter what. The Clippers are one of the worst organizations in the history of basketball. Greg, can you become a member of the Clippers Patreon? Oh, man, that shit is comical. It's comical. It really is. It's hilarious. But, hey, it is what it is. Good job. Good job. Become a member. Pound the like button. If you haven't become a member already, pound the like button. Become a member. We've had 500 people in here. 500 likes. We should have 500 likes. Pound that like button. It's Fearless Friday. Jeff Nadu is about to join us. We're going to talk Sweet 16, Elite 8 for the next hour of the show. Can't wait to discuss it. Sean Salisbury and I are back next week. We're going to get after it. I'm going to go take a piss, get me a coffee, and I'll see you in 3 minutes with Jeff Nadu, Barstool's very own.
I don't believe Patrick Mahomes carried them down the field to win the game. A fucking punt return. A punt return went 65 yards, homie.
We were down by 10 at halftime, bro. I'm tired of you disrespecting this guy. He's got another MVP.
It's not going to be talked about. Hold on. The punt return didn't put him in field position. Hold on, though. Did the punt return put them down there or not?
Oh, God. So a good special teams play. So they returned a touchdown on defense, too. Why aren't you talking about that?
I did already. That's what I'm talking. That's even helping my case.
Well,
what do you mean?
That takes away from Mahomes' greatness because he had you guys step up.
Wait up, dog. You played football like I did. So a fucking defensive touchdown doesn't help the quarterback?
Of course it helps him, but that takes away.
No, it helps him in a lot of different ways. Like, I don't got to go
up.
up.
The whole fucking team. That helps Mahomes.
Exactly.
Huh?
Exactly. But how are you saying that's all Mahomes that scored those points?
I didn't say it was. I said he led the comeback.
He did the comeback, though. The fucking defensive touchdown did. What do you mean?
He's the quarterback of the team that led the comeback. Yes.
Look, this is what I'm gonna say about it.
Quarterbacks fucking lead comebacks. You just don't like the guy, so you're just always fucking.
But that's not that's a fault. That is not correct either. I never said I never liked him. I've only said I've liked Mahomes on this show. I just said I don't believe he's what everyone says he is. And last night proved it again. I don't want to hear about the hobbled ankle. You played in this league. You know this hobbled ankle bullshit is a narrative. You play in the game, you stay in the game. I don't want to hear about your ankle. Jack Youngbuck had the broken fucking leg.
He did stay in the fucking game. He didn't leave.
Exactly my point. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to hear the common denominator factor on Twitter that, hey, JB, he played and didn't miss a game. Or miss a play. No shit. That's his job. That's what he's supposed to do. What do you mean?
A lot of people would not play hurt. He played hurt.
I understand that. But I'm saying if you get into the game and decide to play, then you should stay. That's what he did. So to me, that's what quarterback's supposed to do. Like, he's not doing something that
he led the comeback. That's what quarterbacks do. They lead comebacks.
All right. So
Tony led the comeback?
Who?
The guy who returned the fucking punt. He led the comeback? Or Kelsey led the comeback? Or how about Andrew Wiley? Could he have led the comeback?
The punt return put him in his position to win the game. What do you mean?
I'm just saying Mahomes led the fucking comeback as the quarterback. He's
the quarterback. What do you mean?
That's what the fuck I'm saying. That's what I said 8 motherfucking times. That he led the comeback. And you told me he did it. Well, did he or fucking didn't he?
And no, he didn't. What do you mean? He's the quarterback. What do you mean? It doesn't matter who the quarterback was.
He didn't lead a comeback yesterday. That's what you're telling me.
Yes, he's the quarterback. Of course he's led the comeback.
Cool. That's all I said.
So if you were the quarterback, you would have been the leader of the comeback too.
Yes. Quarterbacks lead comebacks, quarterback, as you know.
It doesn't matter who it was. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter who was there.
The fact that that's what he did.
Because of the punt return, though.
The punt returns in the fourth quarter. He started the comeback at halftime.
Well, yeah, they were down 10 points.
So they had a big play on special teams, and somehow that takes away from Mahomes' greatness and leading the comeback?
Where's the greatness at? He threw for 180 fucking yards, homie. Let's not act like he's throwing for 500 yards in Super Bowls, bro.
No,
he threw for 180 yards and 3 touchdowns under 15 yards.
You're killing me.
Come on, man. You guys
are something.
Look, you have accepted mediocre as excellence too. Like, that's what it is, homie.
He doesn't throw for 400 yards and 8 touchdowns and no fuck-ups, and he's a bum.
No, he doesn't. I don't think you need to throw for 400 yards, but goddamn, homie, can we see some real quarterback play?
Right fucking back at you. Goddamn, can you respect any greatness fucking ever, or are you just the ultimate fucking hater?
It ain't. How is it hate if it's true?
Bro, it's not true.
How is it true? How is it?
He
Hey,
had another comeback.
we're going to see.
Another MVP. You're wrong, bro.
Dog, of course he is. Who else is going to get it? We're in the fucking mediocre. The quarterback play in the NFL is fucking atrocious.
Oh, my
Period.
God. Fucking so Jalen Hurts didn't ball the fuck out last night?
Yeah, he balled 3 rushing touchdowns. He throws for 300
fucking deal how he scores.
Okay, I just said 3 rushing touchdowns, 300 yards. I said he balled out.
Yeah, so again, who cares how he scored? It's a good thing.
I didn't say that. I just said I'm giving you the stat line.
I
didn't say how he scored. I just said he balled out. He threw for 300 yards and he ran for three touchdowns.
And nothing last night looked mediocre other than the refs. Everything was on par. Both coaching staffs balled the fuck out. Both. Other than pass rushing, both defenses held on to their ass pretty much the whole game. That's it. Everybody else balled.
Yes. Perfect timing. My main man, Barstool's very own Jeff Nadu, joins us right now. I'm going to put his ticker on the thing. Make sure you follow Jeff on all social medias. Big Man on Campus on Twitter. His YouTube show, his crime show on YouTube is unbelievable. I watched a couple clips last night. He shared on Twitter. He does a great job. He's got a top 200 crime show. So make sure you subscribe and to his YouTube show if you haven't already. It's on the ticker below. Jeff, what up?
What up, Coach? How are you?
Man, I'm good, man. I have my former Adidas grassroots guy who's responsible for all the football uniforms and Adidas in the country, like Texas A&M and Ole Miss and everybody that was Adidas for a long time. He's the one that was responsible for getting me the deal at Netflix on Last Chance U. And he lost power too. They said he was having a bad weather day, I guess, on the East Coast. Is having some weather.
It's ugly around here, man. But we got it back up, so we're good.
Yeah, it's bad, man. It's been raining here for not like fucking Noah's Ark's here, man. Like it's ready to go. Like we're ready to get on the water, man. And hey, so I got approached by a few TV deals, and they were like, "Hey, you just can't cuss." Can I go a 1 week without cussing on one show? Do you think?
No, I don't think. I mean, that's just who you are, though. Like that's kind of the thing about me. Like I wouldn't really want that either, Like I wouldn't want to have a show where I can't do certain things, Look, I get, you can't say certain things, and I don't. And that's that. But, no, I don't think you have to.
You don't cuss though, like really on your show.
Well, I do. It's just, here's the thing about YouTube, man. Like there's certain like I don't want to make it overly bad, but like if I'm talking about a mobster and I'm reading a wiretap conversation, it's like I read it vividly, like what they really said. But I try to not cuss because they could demonetize you. Like TikTok, I'm on, they demonetize you if you cuss. So I try to do it, but in my real life, it's like every other word. So.
Oh, I know. I know. I've been telling the chat. I got a bunch of people like, man, you got to cuss. That's why we watch. I'm like, dog, I get it, but you don't get it on my end. Like, I'm being suppressed like no other. Like, you don't understand. Like, I'm being suppressed.
I would try to, I guess you try to limit it, but you don't want to take away from who you are. If you're like that interview you just played. That's really, I don't know who is. I feel like I've seen that guy before. Who is that?
That's Matt McChesney. He played in the NFL about 7 years for the Jets and the Broncos. He's on my show probably 3-4 times a week. He runs a big academy in Denver called 6-0. He trains kids and gets them ready for college, or he trains college kids ready for the NFL.
That's a great clip. Like that guy's cool. Like that would take, like if you guys weren't cussing, it wouldn't be as funny. But that was just a vivid argument.
And I guarantee you that show, that particular one, did not monetize.
Oh no, of course not. Of course not. I mean,
hey, let me tell you something, Jeff. Last week, I did 5 shows. So I do 5 shows a week anyway. So I do daily show every day. Last week, I had 5 shows. None of them monetized.
Well, you know what you should do? And I'm not, I know this isn't like a learn how to use YouTube, but you know how like when you're posting your video, right? And you click whether it's got any violations or not, you click none of the above, right? You should
say
click.
it again.
So like when you upload a video, you should highlight that there is a few cuss words. It's almost like if you're honest with YouTube and you tell them, they will push it through. If you just push it through and don't say that you have any of those things, I think it feels like you're kind of trying to game YouTube and they knock you. I'll tell you off the air, actually.
Yeah. And it's also like the whole age thing and all that type of shit. So it's like.
But to answer your original question, no, I do not think you can go a week.
I put it on a poll last night. It was 96% said fuck no. 4% said fuck yes.
Right. No.
Hey,
no
I love cussing. I think cussing is the greatest thing. I was on Alexis Texas show. She has a show. I was on her show, and she asked me that question. It never aired because she had an intern guy filming the show at her apartment in LA, and it never came out. So I talk to Alexis all the time. She's cool people. Joey B's like a porn star connoisseur. Like it's all he does. He said, Jeff, he said, who wins, Angela White or Alexis Texas?
So I got to be honest. I don't know who Angela White is. I don't watch porn anymore, if I'm being honest. I don't.
Me either. I just, once you get a certain age, dog, it's kind of over. I'm over.
I think. Well, you know how it is for me though, and this might be crazy, but I watched this thing about like the male's brain and things like that. It's super destructive to your head, man. Like super destructive.
Really?
Yeah, it's real bad for you, man. Like, so
what does it do?
It just like I have to send you it. It was like the psychiatrist that was talking about it, and he was talking about how it's just extremely destructive to your brain. I forget some of the inner thoughts of it, but it made me kind of just realize, what am I doing this for? Like what am I trying to get out of it? I don't know. Plus, like, all due respect, like I don't have no problem, doing what I got to do with a woman. So I just do that, That's what it was. Something with dopamine. That Brian Martinez is right. It's real bad for you, Like, look, I talk to some of them chicks, like they're cool, but and I tell them, you get your money, that's your thing. But I don't know. I think you're right. Like once you get to a certain age, it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah. See, you're still young, man. You're still early 30s, mid 30s. You get to 46, 47, dog. It's like, I don't know. There's no need I don't have any desire at all to fucking rub one out anymore. I have no desire. I just rather have a broad come through. Fuck that. I don't do that shit no more at all.
Yeah, I think the chat kind of spoke with it. Like it's a lot of just like fake, like I don't know. I just don't feel a need with it anymore. I don't know.
Nah, and it's all fluff. And half the porn, not half, 90% of them, you take the makeup off, they're fucking horrific looking.
And it's also just like a lot of them it's just that they're just acting. Like it's not real. Like they're just doing it as like a job,
Yeah.
It's almost like I never understood why like I don't go to strip clubs. I think I might have been to one in my whole life. I never understood the whole like blowing money at strip clubs. Like I never.
Hey, so here's a true story right here. I love having you on. We just get to talk. So I used to go to titty bars frequently. My baby mom was a stripper, but anyway, I used to go to titty bars, and I would be in the titty bar, and girls would always be like, "Man, you want to dance?" I'm like, "Nah, I don't do the dance. I'm just chilling with my boys, and I'm just listening to the music, chilling, whatever, drinking, hanging out. I'm just there to watch it." And then people always ask me, like, why you don't go? Why you don't get dances? Because I got boys that get dances like crazy. I'm like, I don't do dances. It does absolutely nothing for me. Like, so I used to tell these girls, I'm like, look, if you could get my shit hard, I'll pay you the money for the dance. If you don't, it's free. And I used to take that bet. I've never lost the bet, dog. You cannot get my shit hard in a titty bar. Like, I don't need everyone looking at me as you dance on me. Now we go to the house, different story.
Right.
it don't do nothing for me. I'd rather chill with my boys and drink and just watch ass walk around. That's all I care about. That's the only reason I go. And the chicken wings are phenomenal in any titty bar you go to.
Yeah, the food's actually, I heard, pretty good a lot of the time.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Ask our main man, Joe. What was it? The orange chicken? What did he do in Atlanta?
Oh, Lou Williams.
Lou Williams, orange chicken. He got his own name.
Yeah, he's a big fan of like the wings and stuff. Yeah.
You got the lemon Lou wings.
I'll tell you what though, and this might sound crazy to a lot of people, but I miss like I was thinking about this. I went out with this girl, man. She's natural, like everywhere. She's like really like almost like bohemian, if you will. Like she has like a really like dope look to her, you know. And I was thinking like the other day, like how when I was younger, growing up, you know, in the early 2000s, how every girl was natural, right? You had just this beautiful look. And like, I'm a big fan as I get older of just like, you know, exclusivity in one's body in a way where like, you don't have to throw it out there, right? Like it's almost like a private thing. You don't advertise it to the world, you know? And I was thinking about that the other day, how like every girl nowadays, like it's almost like you have to go on the internet and show everything you have. You have to go on TikTok, and you know it's natural is like gone almost. Like you
not only natural though. Like I listen, you don't have to be a creep. That's what people don't get. People don't understand how you are on social media, how you are on this show. Everybody's like hits me up like, man, Jeff's a real cat. He's like real. I thought he was like weird on Twitter because he always posts shit. I go, yeah, so do I. That don't mean you know us. Motherfucker, we do shit because we do shit.
I think a lot of the time it's just like a lot of it's just for fun, you know. Like
I know it is.
You know, I just don't really like. I told you you asked me about Instagram. Like I don't share Instagram publicly. You know, like I have a personal life that I try to keep separate because look, I've dealt with a lot of shit doing all this over the years, you know, and like as I get older, I just want to be a little bit more away from that. But
hell yeah, But like the girls that go into the gym and then they got the tights on, the titties out, all this shit. I'm like, I get it. Like I don't get it. But I'm like, back in the day though, it was sweats, t-shirt, maybe like a sports bra or whatever with a t-shirt. Like girls wanted to work out for real. Now they're not trying to work out.
But you know the funny thing is, they're the same girls that will, when someone looks at them, they'll, what are you doing? I'm not here to that. You know, like it's like.
I know.
Why are you like?
I know. I equate it to this, Jeff. I equate it. I said, listen, if I walked around with a G strap on and a hard dick, you're looking, girl. I don't give a fuck. You're looking.
You might not want to look, but
you're going to look at everybody, any man in there. You're going to look, even if you're going to clown him or you like it or you don't like it, you're looking. Right. And the guy's looking at you if they don't like you or they like you or they're looking at you too.
I think we've gotten away, and I see this all the time, like on Twitter and stuff. Like when you say a woman looks good, like beautiful, it's almost like, oh, you're like a weird dude. It's like, no, I just think she's a beautiful woman. That's about it. I'm a man. You know?
I used to tell women all the time in person. I said, hey, you're beautiful. And then they literally either wait for you to try to spit at them, or they think you're a weirdo. And I keep it moving, and they are shocked. I'm like, hey, you're beautiful. I'm like, hey, how you doing? You're beautiful. That's it. I keep moving. Motherfuckers act like, that's it? I've had girls tell me like, that's it? I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah, it is.
Listen, the truth is like, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do this in the summer. I'm going to put a fucking series out on what you shouldn't do when you're talking to a woman. Okay. Because I feel like I'm a pro at this point. I watch, you know what I love to do? I love going to a bar and watching these fucking kids try to grab women, like the shit they do. I mean, it's so lame. Like, it's never going to work. Like, the way they act, the cat, like, it ain't, no woman wants that, man.
And
like,
if it does work, that woman,
ain't worth it.
She's thirsty herself, and she's looking for the clout or whatever it may be. Or, oh, this guy's got some money or whatever. These girls right now, I'm going to tell you right now, I got this buddy that sends me all these things. He does this. He kind of does what you're talking. He goes around and does it on purpose. He doesn't film it though. He just does it because he's older. Mm-hmm. So he's not doing the Nelk boy type. You know, he's not doing that shit. He's just doing it on his own. He'll go to a bar and he'll get with the girl. He'll get her number. he'll invite her and he'll say, listen, I don't live here. I live in Cali. I want to fly you out to Cali to come kick it, right? Soon as a girl, these young girls that are only these Instagram models or whatever, they think when they hear fly, because we're a trigger word world, we live in a trigger word world, they think fly is, oh shit, he got money, he's gonna fly me out. Could be first class, private jet. And then guess what? What he does is he gets his homeboys that actually have a lot of money to hit her up on DM. And then what he does is he's like, hey, see if you can sway her on the same day that I'm going to book this flight to get on your flight and don't even hit me up. And so he's hitting her up. He has his boy hitting her up. He's seeing the same DMs. My boy is. And he's like, the dude, she fucking responds. Boom. Oh, yeah, where you live at? Whoop-de-whoop. So he already knows the engagement's real. He's like, oh, this bitch ain't tripping. She's trying to just fucking chase the bag, right? So he's like, hey, so I'm going to pick you up at whatever, whoop-de-whoop, LAX, whatever. It's ready to go. She'll respond with a blatant, okay, you know, whatever. Then he immediately sees, because he's logged into my boy's account, he literally sees the next, she's right back to him in a full long conversation. Like, oh yeah, where are we going? What are we gonna do? And then he tells his boy, all right, now cancel that bitch. Tell her, nah, I can't do it now. And then he cancels the flight.
He runs back.
He cancels the flight on her ass, and then she hits him up. I'm coming. It says that I don't have the flight now. And he's like, oh, for real? Damn. What about Johnny, though? Ain't he flying you out?
Yeah, that's fucking great.
Hey, dog, he does it all the time. And he said he so far, 30 and under, and he's done this with about 12 women, have 100% took the bait.
All these chicks today, it's an epidemic, man, in this country. Where this is the most subtle thing you can do when you go out. When you walk up to a girl and you see a girl you like, never initiate buy them a drink first. Don't. Because that's how you could spot if she's just there for your money.
Oh,
Let
yeah.
her buy her own drink, and if she keeps talking to you, she's genuinely interested. You buy her a drink in an hour. But don't let the first initiation of conversation be, hey, what are you drinking? Because then right away it's, oh, okay, so I can drink for free all night.
Yeah.
No, you can't, and I'm not doing it. Buy yourself a drink, and if you keep talking to me, then we can, you know.
Yes, I'm the same
You know
way, dog.
Like,
I'm the same way. Here's what I used to do. Because I've been genuine my whole life. I've never been the creepy weirdo that comes and just hounds a girl. I'm like,
that's another thing. As long as you just act normal.
Yeah. Don't
try to act stupid like these dumb pickup lines. Just be subtle. Have a good time.
Yeah, dog. So I used to like, I'll send a woman a drink. I'll have a bartender. Hey, here you go. Send this to her. I will get up later and I'll go over there and say, hey, you're beautiful. I just want to let you know. And that's it. You know, from that one, because I'll spend 15, 20 on one drink for one woman if she's the one in the place. And I'm gonna say, all right, now, or is she the one? And then if she's just like, oh, thanks, whatever, I already know. It is what it is. I told you you're beautiful. It is what it is. I expect it. I don't expect you to say, oh, thanks. If she gets up and comes over and says, thank you, then you got a shot. Like if she gets out of the chair and comes over and says, thank you, you got a shot. If she sits there, don't acknowledge you, whatever, and then you go over there and say, hey, you're beautiful. I just wanted to get that for you. And if she's like, oh, thanks, whatever, and just shines you on, it is what it is, but that's what it is.
But no, if they make the initiation come over to you, yeah, agreed. And this guy in the chat saying, why do we take advice from you who's not married? Because are you listening to what I'm saying, Greg? You're not listening.
No, he doesn't. He hears you. He's a troll.
Are you not listening? We're trying to tell you why. I'm not going to bed down to none of these chicks out here. I'm trying to find a diamond in the rough. And again, if I don't, I'm perfectly cool with that. I live a life where I don't got to worry about nothing. It's
by the way
out here, man.
I don't fucking want to be married, Greg, you fucking weirdo. I don't want to be married. I want to fuck as many pussies as I can. You fucking bitch.
And listen, not everybody's cut out for that, to be honest. Like being married for suckers, to be honest, at least to me, you know.
Hell yeah. It's fucking unbelievable. I'm like, I wish I would marry someone so they can literally immediately have half of my shit. Fuck you.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough, if you're a man, it's a tough thing to do, man. Unless you find like a dope chick, it's tough.
Yeah, it's hard to find them too.
Nowadays it is for sure.
Yeah, it's a lot different now, man. I'm just telling you. So look, man, our picks went to shit. I know we both had you know what? Yesterday I didn't mention it, and I can't say it now because it is what it is. I was like, when you were picking Tennessee, we both picked Tennessee, and I'm like, I think Tennessee's the better team too, like you. And I was thinking all this, but as a coach perspective, I was like, any team that was 35-3 is a team that knows how to win. I don't care who they beat. I don't care how they won. And 35-36 wins in a season is hard. And I was like, my gut was like, fuck, Florida Atlantic just seems like that one team maybe this year. I don't know. I haven't watched them enough. I don't know I don't know if anyone honest can tell you, besides a bettor like yourself or somebody that knows the niche, can say, oh, Florida Atlantic has this guy. They're long, they're athletic, they play D, they do this. I haven't watched them all year. I didn't watch Princeton either. Like, people act like, oh, Princeton, you haven't watched a fucking Princeton game all year. Shut up, all these people.
There's a lot of people that do that in March.
Yeah, they're a winning team, man. I don't know. I think they're going to be a fucking hard out now.
Oh, like FAU's real good, man.
They've gone over the threshold. Like you said yesterday, that you get to that point. I think we thought Tennessee was that point. Now that they got over it, I think they've reached that threshold. And I think they're going to be a fucking hard out.
No, it's the thing about them. I mean, I didn't understand why people were picking against them in the first round against Memphis. Everybody, that Memphis Purdue, it's going to be a great game. Well, no, it didn't even get there. It was FAU, FDU. So, yeah, look, this is a hard round. And FAU didn't even shoot the ball real well last night again, and they still won. Keep in mind, they're shooting like 25% from three, and they're in the Elite Eight. What happens when they start shooting the ball well, right? I had 2 wins I think 2 wins of the show, 2 losses. My favorite play though was Gonzaga, and I was happy to get that one. I don't know what Arkansas was doing. That was a surprise, man. I did not think they would get rocked the way they did.
Let's talk UCLA, because that was my championship team. I clearly think if Clark's healthy, that team is by far the best team in the tournament. I thought
if Bona just plays last
night. Yeah. I mean, I this is my question with you. Is Drew Timme the best player in basketball, college?
Yes, I've said that. Listen, there's no bigger drum beater than me on Drew Timme. I think he is extremely good. People don't give him any credit. Around the rim, he's automatic. I think he's been the best player in college, arguably all season. But people don't want to give him respect because he goes to Gonzaga, and they don't want to give Gonzaga any respect. Do you know how hard it is to do what they do every year? To go to the Elite Eight every year?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Of course,
my man had 30 for UCLA as well. He's a hard guard too. I like him a lot. I think he's going to be a decent NBA player. Jaime did a good job last night. I thought he brought him back in late. For 11-minute stretch, though, I mean, it was so frustrating.
That was the end.
They couldn't fucking get a shot. And then they come back with 1:40 down 10 to take the lead. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's unbelievable. And then they get another heartbreaking three-pointer, just like 2 years ago. Last second shot. You got to tip your cap to Gonzaga, but you can say UCLA ran out of gas and all that shit. That's excuses, man. This is the tournament. It is what it is. You got a couple days off before you play again. This is my issue with it, watching the game. That's the first real tournament game I've watched in totality. I like Cronin. I get to hang out with him a few times. One of my good friends is his real good friend. I see him at a lot of events. The kids love him. Good recruiter. Got kids. He's got some depth on the roster. Last night, it showed the lack of depth because of the 2 big men injured, which hurt the rotation. But here's my thing, and I'm not a basketball guy per se, but I do know all sports, and I play the sport, and I know coaching. Why aren't we pressing the inbound passer, A, And why are we giving a free range shot pass to a guy who can dribble one time, turn around, and have a shot at the rim with 2 seconds left is what I struggled with last night. Like, let's put a big on the inbound, and then let's deny the ball on the clearest shot on the court, which is dead center, middle of the key. I just didn't understand that part. Now, we can 6 in the hand, dozen in the other. We can question all this we want. We're not there. I hate people that question coaches that aren't involved in it. So I'm not going to do that. I just want to know what you thought that could have been different, because I'm sitting there in my mind thinking this is going to be a loose ball steal. We're going to get a rebound off of a forced shot. It was just too easy.
Well, a couple things. It was a great play they drew up, Gonzaga, and they said essentially it was the Villanova play, which it was a couple of years ago, Chris Jenkins against Carolina. But, you know, the big thing was, if you notice and watch the shot, Timmy and the other big, as soon as the shot goes up, go towards the rim. So the thought is, if you miss that shot there, you get the ball with 6 seconds, you go – look, the rebounds was the difference. 52-28. They out-rebounded.
I got out 21 plus minus.
You can't – that can't happen in a game like this. And I'll tell you another thing.
On the defensive end, UCLA, just for 11 minutes, could not get a fucking loose rebound. I'm just like, dog, box out. But they were so small in there. They were so small in there with Timmy and the other kid. They were so small in there. I'm like, God damn, dog. Even your guards got to know how to box out.
It came back to bite them. I'll tell you, the one thing that I was really bothered by was on the final inbound, right? Gonzaga's up 3. Why not miss that shot? They had no timeouts on the foul shot. They had no timeouts. Why'd you make that shot? Then you had a shot at a half-court buzzer. Kid almost hit it. Kyrie Campbell almost hit it. There was some things coaching-wise on both sides that I didn't love. Now, if he makes that, I don't know what you say with him, but that was a great play they drew up at the end there. But yeah,
I thought the guard for UCLA was going to hit that shot and get some get back like they did against them. Like, the shot was a clean look. Like, he hit the rim. Like, it looked like I was like, oh shit, this may go. And UCLA wins on an unbelievable fashion, but it didn't happen.
Here's one thing, though, that you got to look at going tomorrow. Gonzaga has to stop with this shitty first half crap, because the game against TCU, they were down 5 at the half. They give up 38 points. Last night, they were down, 13, gave up 46 at the half. They have to be better in the first half, because against UConn, you play like that, they're going to run you out of the gym, just like they did Arkansas. So they got to be better in the first half, which is weird because they're usually very good in the first half.
K-State's guard had one of the most dominant games I've seen from a guard controlling the game in the tempo. 19 assists. I saw you posting it. Michigan State still took the lead late in that game, and I'm thinking, damn, Izzo's just going to get another one. K-State gets it. K-State could be one of those other teams like Florida Atlantic. They are a 3 seed after all. They're a pretty damn good team, obviously, to be this deep. And they have one of the best guards that right now in basketball playing at this level that, as I know, that wins NCAA games.
Who
says
he's 5'8", but I don't see it. I don't think he's 5'8". It's like saying I'm 5'8". I'm more like 5'7", probably. He's 5'8". Coach, he went to Little Rock. That's where he was at before this. Got kicked off the team. New lease on life, goes to K-State. With a new coach, they were picked to finish last in the Big 12 this year. They're on the precipice of the Final Four. The kid's 5'8". Think about that in this day and age. Crazy. 19 assists. That's something, man.
Yeah, they're going to be formidable. Today's games, real quick. So you got who do you like today? I don't know if you're doing your picks, but
I've said it. I'll keep saying it. I'm taking San Diego State plus 7.5, and I'm going to let the chips fall where they may. I think this is a matchup that they can hang out and hang around in. I think Alabama, the truth is, I know they had 1 or 2 real good games, but ever since the Brandon Miller stuff, haven't really covered. Okay, I think this is a team that can really hang with them. Defensively, San Diego State's great. I think athletically, they're right there. And offensively, they're a lot better this year than they've been in years past. I like the Aztecs here. I think Coach Dutcher has something for them, especially with all this time to prepare.
Yeah, I definitely think they cover. I think this late in the game, except you get an anomaly like Arkansas getting blown out last night, every other game is going to be pretty close.
One thing real quick, I just want to throw out to your people. This is kind of one of those things you only know if you follow this sort of thing, but the amount of bets on this game are 50-50. It's good action on this game. The thing is, though, 81% of the money, so like the bigger bets, the money being bet is on the Aztecs, which is a big, big thing in this kind of game. The smart people like San Diego State. I like San Diego State. I think this game, the number's too high. I really do.
Houston. We know they're possibly the best team in the country athletically. They've been a one most of the year. Do you see any issue in this one? Miami's formidable.
Well, I got some real questions, though, for Miami. I think they should hang around in this game. The problem is they don't have a lot of depth, and one of their starters, Wooga Poplar, is questionable. He's their best defender as well. We saw what happened last night with UCLA. When you don't have every player, you run out of gas. They don't have a real deep team as it is. Houston can really wear you down. I get the feeling that Houston, maybe this game, I think if you like Miami, maybe you take a shot in the first half that they hang around here. And then Houston kind of does what they did against Auburn and finds a way to pull away. I've learned pretty frequently that I don't want to bet against Houston. They've blown a lot of teams out this year, man. They really have. And they're a elite defensive team. I need to know what's going on with Houston's personnel or Miami's personnel in this game.
Yeah. And then do you see any other upsets in this one? I mean, they're all tight. So
no, I think Creighton probably. I think this could be similar, maybe to Arkansas. Probably. Prince is a good team, but Creighton just shuts you down on defense. Take away the 3-point shot. They don't foul you. They're just a supremely coached defensive team. And Creighton's a team that I could win it all. We haven't talked much about them, but
I know. I like them. I do like them. Who's the last game?
Texas Xavier. That's probably the best game of the night, I would think.
They're a team that can go, huh? They can possibly
I have them winning it all. I have them winning.
Oh, yeah, you have Texas winning it all, huh?
Yeah. I think they find a way to win here. It'll be a tough game, though. I think it's probably similar to that game last night with Michigan State and K-State. It's probably close. I think Texas wins, though.
Ole Miss. I got to watch my Ole Miss women. They play Louisville in Seattle. It's a Pac-12 driven deal here. Utah's in it. Colorado's in it, and UCLA in the Sweet 16 for the women. I'm rooting for Ole Miss. Coach Yo is a good friend of mine. She was on the show, but I'm a Pac-12 West Coast guy. Pac-12 is very underrated in the women's side this year. They've got 3 really good teams in this thing. If Ole Miss can get by Louisville, as we know, I mean, the bottom line is South Carolina, who plays my UCLA Bruins, that could be ugly. I don't know. I mean, the 34-0 playing a 27-9 UCLA team. I know you don't dabble in the women's side.
34-0, man. That's
tough.
Crazy.
That's tough. And then UConn 31-5, which is a down year for them. Gino Auriemma, though, I don't put anything past him. Before you leave, man, I got to get your take. If I gave you 5. You can only pick 5. Doesn't matter the sport. Doesn't matter the gender. Who's your greatest 5 coaches of all time? Any sport, any gender. I'll give you mine. It's tough, but John Wooden to me sets a preem. He's the top dog in my opinion. He won 11 in a row. I mean, it's never going to happen.
Yeah,
my dad used to go to the tournaments because back in the day, they didn't have regions like they do now. So like UCLA was always undefeated, the 1 seed. They hosted everything at Pauley Pavilion at UCLA, and that's where it was. So the best teams hosted the tournament games. You would have to fly to them, similar to how the women do now, because they don't have the resources and the money. So they kind of play at their home courts. Where the men, they're playing regions, right? So like, if you're the 1 seed in the West, obviously you'll get a Western team, but you ain't gonna play at home. You'll play in Vegas or wherever. So There used to be a sign. My dad had a picture when he was back in the day. There used to be a sign held up, and it said, "Welcome to the UCLA Invitational." It was literally, they won 11 fucking championships in a row, and it was like, dog, what? You imagine that right now? Like, if a team just every year they fucking win a title.
Yeah,
you know how hard that is to do.
You never think about that. I mean, I don't know. It's almost like thinking about, like, I can't even fathom that, really. I mean, it's really.
All right, here, I'm gonna think of it. People used to ask me all the time, like, Coach, who would you want to speak to? Who would you want to talk to if you could have any coach come down and pick his or her brain for a day? And I'm like, and I used to tell my guys all the time, I'm like, Gino Auriemma. And they're like, Gino Auriemma, the women's basketball coach for you? Kind of go, yeah, fucking right. I said, do you realize how hard it is for a man to coach women and to get them to completely buy in and year out, have the best women basketball players on planet Earth for the last 15 years, arguably, him and Pat Summitt at Tennessee for a long time battled. Gino Auriemma is in my top 5 of all time as well. And that's a woman's head coach. I think he has the same values as I do. He speaks the same language. He has been absolutely unbelievable with those women at UConn. He's dominated the sport for a long time. Now he's kind of, figuring out that this portal, I guarantee you, is the single biggest reason why a lot of these teams now are becoming mortal, right? So I got John Wooden and Gino Auriemma in my top 5. I also have Belichick and Bill Parcells. And it's a toss-up for me. It's Phil Jackson or Don Shula as my 5th.
I mean, when you look at Phil Jackson, I think if you're talking about coaches of all time, he's got to be in the top 5. I mean, he's won 11 titles as a coach.
And 1 as a player.
2 as a player.
2 as a player, yeah. Yeah,
that's just something you have to throw in. I think Gino, I would 100% agree with you there.
Pat Summitt's on argument too. If you're going to put Gino in there, Pat Summitt's arguably, Olympian, a gold medal winner as a coach in the Olympics. I mean, she's been everywhere. She was great. Bill Walsh in the football side.
I think Belichick, surely. I mean,
he's got it. And Bill Parcells is who Belichick learned from.
Let me ask you something. I've always had nostalgia for and you don't see it anymore. I mean, this is a lost art, and is coaching to you just about how many titles you've won, or is it about what did you actually do for your kids, right?
It's both.
So let me ask you. So when I was coming up, I mean, when I was a kid, my favorite coach of all time is John Chaney at Temple. Okay. And I look at how many kids through Prop 48 he was able to save, right? Kids that would have been thrown to the heap and said, well, you're not good enough to come here, but we're going to help you come here. We're going to take you out of the ghetto, because that's what he was doing. He was taking kids from Philadelphia out of the hood and saying, come play for me. I'll teach you how to get through. And look, I know John did some things on the court, hurting players and stuff like that. We all know what he did there. But John Chaney, John Thompson, I've talked about him as well. I mean, those are coaches you just don't have anymore, man. And that's one of the problems we have in America, Coach. We don't have enough coaches, men, mentors, people that are there for a kid that has nothing else.
Why do you think they fired Patrick Ewing? He's too much like myself, too much like John
That's a
Thompson,
good point.
Who coached him. John Thompson, by the way, who coached him. Yeah. By the way, if you ever talk to anyone who played for John Chaney, John Thompson, Lou Carnesecca, any of those old school cats, Raleigh Massimino, all your East Coast cats. I was a basketball head for a long time. I know I used to watch. That's what I used to love. St. John's back in the day with Mullen and like these teams that I used to watch. Syracuse, Boeheim. Like Boeheim to me is a top 5 college basketball coach of all time. People hate on Boeheim, and I'm just like, dude, that motherfucker.
A lot of wins.
Dog, Bobby Knight. I mean, he has to be in the conversation.
Bobby Knight was a nut, man.
And you can't coach that way no more because they will cancel you. And that's what
the kids today, they're almost like they're divas, man. Like you have to you can't yell at a kid nowadays, right? It's just a lot different. A lot of these coaches would never work, it wouldn't work now. And that's a shame because, when I do you remember that guy, Gene Cady? He was at
Hell
Purdue.
yeah, Purdue. Hell yeah.
Yeah, like that guy just looked like a mean motherfucker, man. Like, but kids love playing for him. You know, you look at college football, you know, like I get, you know, whether we know what happened with Joe Paterno. I get it, you know, but let me ask you, with Joe Paterno as a coach, could you, you know, look at him as a coach, man. Like,
I mean, Bo Schembechler, Michigan for
Lloyd Carr, you know,
Lloyd Carr did well. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot, you know. So if you want to talk top 5, is Nick Saban in the mix? Pete Carroll, Nick Saban, and Urban Meyer.
I think Nick Saban is
they're all on my outlier. They're all on my outliers because, like, I think it's hard, right? I got Gino Auriemma in there. I don't have Nick Saban. Right?
I don't think Saban's top 5, but
yeah, like
definitely top 10.
Bear Bryant. You could argue Bear Bryant. He won 6 titles at Alabama. This is the thing. Pete Carroll did it in both. He's won college national title. He's won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You've had Jimmy Johnson. There's only 2 that's done it. Jimmy Johnson and Pete Carroll have won natties and a Super Bowl. And it's like Pete Carroll took his lumps early, figured it out. The NFL's not for everybody. Nick Saban tried it, jumped the fuck right back out because he's like, this ain't for me. It's a different galaxy. Jimmy Johnson said that many times. I've heard Jimmy speak in person. He's like, people don't realize college football and jumping to the NFL, it's not a different world. It is a different galaxy. Like, it is a different galaxy. It's not a different world. And I don't think people realize that. And you just can't do it anymore. Urban found out the hard way. He had to go start fingering booty because he's like, fuck this. I'm going to drink and finger ass because I can't do this no more. This ain't for me. And he wanted out. And I don't know. It's a different galaxy. But top 5 coaches, any top 5s are hard because it's all opinion, and there's gonna be facts in there, but it's opinion because there's always gonna be someone that someone's gonna say, oh, why not this guy? Why not that guy?
Pete Carroll, I you hear it in the last year or two where Seattle was considering moving on from him, and it's like, why? He's still a top level coach in the league. Let me ask you, GM. Exactly. Let me ask you. Rico makes a good point in the chat. You talk about a great coach, Tom Osborne.
Yeah.
In the 90s. I mean, what they win? They won 2 or 3 in a row, didn't they? With Lawrence Phillips in the early 90s?
Nah, they won 2
in a row, I think.
They won they won late 80s, they won early 90s when they had
I think it was 92, 93, 93, 94. They won 2 in a row.
Colorado, Oklahoma, Nebraska. Colorado won in 90.
Tommy Frazier.
Yeah, Tommy Frazier. Nebraska, Colorado, and Oklahoma were riddled with Southern California kids. By the way, they were recruiting the shit out of that deal. They had won natties back to back. Colorado, Nebraska, Oklahoma. They were the powers, and they were the powers in the country. By the way, that was Big 8 back in the day. They had a ton of talent. Osborne was great. I mean, I don't know. There's just it's so hard to put 5 guys in there. I think the automatics are Auriemma, Phil Jackson, Belichick, Wooden, and then the 5th. Do you go with someone in college football? Bobby or not Bobby Pat
Bowden,
Summit. I mean, you got
Bryant.
Yeah, you got Pat Summit. There's Mike Krzyzewski.
Bobby Bowden was a great coach. That's a good call.
Bobby Bowden. You got Spurrier. I mean, there's a lot. Lou Holtz. Do you put him in there?
No. Lou's a good coach. He's a funny character, but no, he's a good coach. So I put him in the top 5, top 10. I'll tell you, baseball. Joe Torre, that's a great one.
Tommy Lasorda.
Yeah, sure.
Tommy Lasorda.
Man, that's another baseball. There was some back in the day. Lou Piniella, Bobby Cox. There were some great managers back in the day, man.
Nah, no doubt. You bet baseball when it comes around? Are you betting baseball?
Yeah, I do. I love baseball because summer's kind of low key for me. So it's a nice thing to bet during the day, and I don't go crazy like I do with some of these other sports where it's super intense for me. Baseball, I enjoy. I have a good time with it. It'll be a good summer for me. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have have Dontrell Willis on next week. He's been on the show before.
Dontrell, he was a great pitcher for the Marlins. Yeah.
Yeah, he told a great story on my show about Barry Bonds because Barry Bonds was trying to break the record on Dontrell.
What an unbelievable.
Dontrell got away with it and struck him out. And Bonds, he didn't know Bonds very well at the time. And Bonds signed a bat for him in the dugout and was like, "Hey man, you struck me out here. If you want this," and it was a good story he told on this show. But he's going to come on next week and as we get ready for opening day. Are the Dodgers? I don't know. I know you know more than me. I don't do baseball too much. The Dodgers, the Mets now, the Yankees obviously always have the high, big payrolls. The Dodgers. Dave Roberts and the Dodgers, they got a title and all that. They've been to a few World Series and lost to the Houston, number crunchers, whatever you want to call them. Is he a guy that you should consider replacing if he can't get another one? Because of the rosters they've had, last year arguably had one of the best offenses of all time, couldn't get it done. Is he a guy that you replace eventually? Because they got unlimited money, unlimited roster.
I think they're going to have to think about it. I mean, I remember in Philadelphia here, Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl in 2018. Within a year or two, he was out. So, you want, with the talent that the Dodgers have. Now, look, here's the problem with them, going forward. Are you going to get some of the same performances year after year out of some of these guys that you've gotten? Like Gonsolin last year, their third guy. I mean, he was out of control the way he pitched. Like that's not conducive to continue. But, yeah, I think if he fails – this year, I think you got to give a real. I mean, this is a team that should win 100 games plus every year. You're not winning a World Series. I mean, you look at the Padres; they're obviously significantly better. The Phillies, we saw what they did last year. The Mets. I mean, this is a much better National League as opposed to several years ago. So
the Braves are still in the mix, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah, they won the World Series a couple of years ago. You have to kind of get a happy medium between analytical and still common sense, right? And that's the thing. Baseball now is very analytical, right? But hey, any way you can speed the game up, I noticed that's happening, which is good. They need to get a better, the younger group needs to get back into baseball because baseball for a lot of kids, it's too slow. It takes too long. I'm looking forward to it though. It's good over the summer. It's a fun summer thing.
Nah, no doubt about it. It's going to be interesting, man. Final Four will be here this weekend. Who do you expect in the Final Four? If you had to pick by the end of the weekend, who's your Final Four?
Shit. You
got Texas, obviously.
I'm going to go Gonzaga. I'll kind of do it how I had it originally in my bracket. I'm going to go Gonzaga. I'll throw FAU. I think they beat Kansas State. I'm going to say Texas, and I'll say I don't want to do it. I'm going to go Creighton. I think they beat Alabama.
Really?
Yeah.
So you got Creighton, Texas, Gonzaga,
FAU. Yeah.
FAU.
We have a Cinderella there. Yeah.
Interesting.
Which I guess if you follow college basketball, they're not really. I mean, they were super good all year. So
your Barstool compadres though, they like UConn.
Well, a lot of like Jack Mack, he went to UConn, I believe. I think he's from that area. So, but yeah, I think that'll be a great game. UConn and Gonzaga. That'll be a great game tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Good weekend of sports. At least we got the XFL too. I got a couple former players playing in that. One of my players is a leading rusher in the XFL. USFL is gonna start back up in May.
We got to get you on one of them coaching staffs, man.
Yeah, I mean, hey, man, I got to stop cussing, I guess.
You got to and hanging out with me, having me on your show.
Oh shit, nah, that's good. That's a good thing. Shit, we got to get together, man. Like everyone in the chat. Hey,
listen, man. You ever come to the East Coast?
I get requested to come speak to coaches all the time, man. It's got to be worth it for me to come out there just because, especially now. It was during COVID. It was tough because I wasn't putting the mask on. I wasn't going to do all that shit. And then it was tough. And then since then, it's kind of like, forgive and forget, right? Like people forget who you are real quick in this world. It's all about what have you done for me lately? So I haven't been in a while, but I'm coming this year. Jermaine Johnson, defensive end for the Jets. I'm going to come see him play. And then I'm also going to come to Bedminster in Jersey for the Live Golf Tournament at the Trump course.
That's Trump's
I'm gonna come out there and hang out with Pat Perez.
Well, listen, we got to find a day or two. You come out, hang out with me. I'll be in my new house by then. I'll take you to. I go to a cigar bar every week. It's a dope spot, man.
Really? My boy Hector is in the chat. He does betting too for MGM. He lives out in Jersey, New York, so he's out your way.
I love it.
Yeah, so you guys got to hook up too. You like him.
A couple of trolls in here today.
Yeah, we get a lot of trolls, man. This guy knows everything about you. This guy that makes your name and all this. He always does. He's unbelievable. This guy. He even called himself Rico, whatever. One of your Barstool guys. What's that guy's name?
Rico Bosco. Yeah.
Yeah. He even named him
my
that.
former enemy. My former.
You know what I call? You know what I call this type of guys, right? They're called dick riders.
Yeah, they're the biggest fans, man.
And you know our biggest fans are our biggest haters are our biggest fans.
Well, listen, here's what I'll tell that guy, okay? I owe him a lot because when I go out and get in my car, my very nice car, and I live my life and wake up and do what I do every day, people like you are the ones that add to that. So here's what I'll say to you. I'm not going to say I hate you. I'm just going to say thank you. You got a guy last night, Coach, put my address on Twitter. Listen, let me tell you something, man.
Wait. What happened?
These cats, they put my address on Twitter.
Oh, I've had it happen too.
Here's what I'll tell you. I'm here. I don't leave that much. I'm here every day. Make sure you bring the tool with you. I'll have mine with me. All right.
Hey,
you come to someone's house, it's a different story. All right.
I tell them all the time. They put their address. It's funny how you can find your address and all this shit. I DM'd the cat my address yesterday because he DM'd me and called me everything in the book because I had a belt with my dog, even though I don't hit my dogs like that, but I will discipline their ass. But I'm like, I don't really give a fuck. But here's my address. Please show up. Please show up.
When you come to someone's home, it's a different story.
Please show up. I'm begging
totally
you. Yeah. I'm fucking begging you. I'm leaving you my address. Go ahead. I don't give a fuck. I'm leaving it for you. Like that's
you always gotta love these people, man. That it's like people that feel the need to get in people's business because they feel like they need to conversate and have their opinion known to you. Like if I have a kid, right, and I yell at the kid, "Hey, don't do that." Why are you talking to that? Why are you worried about it? It ain't your kid. Stay the hell out of my shit, man. It's like your dogs are your dogs, man.
It's unbelievable, dog. I can see. Like I despise a motherfucker that
now we got
he's Dave Portnoy now.
Now we got Dave Portnoy in here. Unbelievable.
Hey, this is the thing about it. These motherfuckers they literally will make an account. Like he's making an account like in 5 seconds.
3 or 4 times, man.
Oh no, listen, he doesn't. Coach. He's in my show every day. He's giving us views. Thank you.
It's noon on a Friday, man. And this is what this cat's doing, man. It's I gotta say, man. Take yourself up out of your seat. Go walk to the mirror, man, and look in it and say, what am I doing with myself, man?
No, because he lives on his mama's basement.
I'm a grown man.
He weighs 600 pounds, Jeff.
Nutty, man.
He weighs 600 pounds. He hasn't had pussy since pussy had him. He's fucking miserable. He's so mad. He wants to he knows everyone in Barstool, Jeff.
Yeah. Oh no, I know. There's a kids like that, man. They're so they're salty, man.
Jeff, he named every one of my former players the other day. He became one of my former players every profile.
Crazy, man.
Hey, man, it's always a pleasure.
You have a good weekend, man.
Hey, you too, man. We'll hook up next week and do it again.
Sounds good. See you guys.
All right, brother. Appreciate you.
Later.
Jeff Nadu, always real. Wido in the house. Appreciate everybody, man. It's going to be a good weekend. I will see you Monday. Cussing or not, do I become Hollywood? Hey, stay tuned. Appreciate all the support, though. Patreon. Make sure you're a member. If you're not one, become one. We're going to do some great shit on Patreon. And we'll see. Am I on Nubu TV or what? We're going to break that down. I will see you guys next week on Monday. And I'm sure you'll see me this weekend on social media, as you always do. Pound that like button on your way out the door. I appreciate you. Hit the bell notification so you know when I'm on. And become a member. CoachJBStore.com. We got all the fresh gear. Short, fat, skinny, and tall. Hey, I love you all. I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.